Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Night Owl, a show that we do twice a week where we talk about all the latest in pop culture news, TV and movie reviews, gaming news, and just the general conversations of the week. For those who don't know me, I'm Price of Reason, and with me, as always, is my co host, Professor R2. How's it going, Professor?
As always, yes, I am here and it's going all right. Things are getting busier. Kids are back in school. I'm kind of back to my schedule, trying to get ready for the semester. Things are it feels sad. Summer's over. Oh, but the heat's still here. So, there's that.
Yeah, it was a hot day where I was at as well. And,
Things are going well, otherwise. There's things to watch, there's movies to go see. I know you'll tell us a little bit later. You got to go see something today. I was watching, Alien Earth earlier. We'll talk a bit about that. So,
I watched
yeah.
Nobody too.
Woo.
And yes, we will absolutely talk about all of those. Let's
Yeah.
see, what were we even talking about today? What's our
Gavin Newsom.
there was this whole thing today where Gavin Newsom wanted to do some kind of, big press conference or something to discuss his gerrymandering plans or whatever it was. And then I guess ICE showed up to arrest people.
Yes.
Is it
I
all
showed
that
up
was kind of
outs
surreal, honestly.
they
Do you know
they
anything
showed
about
up,
it?
like, around and outside where the event was taking place and started arresting every illegal alien that they could find in the area. It was absolutely hilarious. It's like, "Oh, you're gonna try and, play games with this stuff? Guess what? We are the federal government, and you don't get to decide what we do. And so, it is within our jurisdiction to come into your state and do whatever the hell we want when it comes to immigration." So, and guess what? The Democrats made this, an issue because back, a few years ago, some states said, "Hey, we're being invaded. We've got way too many people that are pouring in over the border. We need to stop it." And the states tried to take action. And the Fed said, "No, no, it is 100% a federal thing, immigration. Only the feds can take care of immigration." And so what happened? Well, guess what? Now it's a purely federal thing. Gavin Newsom and all of the other people in California and various other states trying to say, "Oh, you can't come in and arrest, people in our cities." Yep, yes, we can. Yes, yes. The ICE can. Most definitely. And I have to say, before we get started, before we get too far, you have a mighty generous gift over on YouTube, Price. So you might want to take a look at that.
I am going to do that right now. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just opening it up, going to the stream. Sorry, it's technical. Okay, so wow, Mary White sent 20 Price of Reason Live gift memberships. Mary White is like Santa Claus today because on another stream she gave me two super chats of $5, which was very generous, and the 20 live gift memberships. That's beyond kind. Thank you, Mary. And Mary, in addition to being just hanging out with us for a very long time, she's also one of the few moderators of this channel, and she also does that. So thank you, Mary. Thank you for everything you do, and thank you
Mhm.
for the generous gift. And I think that a lot of people benefited from this gift. Let me
Yes,
see
they
if I
did.
see some names. S. Later S. Alan Jones, Ages Flow, David Gill, MC, Zachary Murray, Rob Altus. Uh, yeah, Tex Rogers said you're being very generous, Mary. What I agree. Michael S. Archer, Anthem 21X. They all benefited from the gifts. And thank you very much. And I see Estephobos is in the chat too. That's nice. I feel like I haven't seen you in a bit, so it's nice to see you here. Jason Webster sent me a very nice comment that he said, Price of Reason, I commend you on accurately reporting just how James Gunn's Superman has underperformed. And I thank you for saying that. At the risk of patting my own back and tooting my own horn, there were a lot of YouTubers out there, even in our circles, that when it came out and to me, the numbers were very clear, and it was very clear what was happening. People were a bit more hesitant regarding, actually calling this thing a flop. And yes, I understand this isn't the flop, like, it's not a flop like the Marvels or something, but it is a flop. When somebody makes a movie and spends a lot of money on a movie, and that movie is not a success, and it doesn't actually in the box office make back its money, that's not the reason they made the movie. They expect to get the money back at the box office. Now some people can say, well, they'll do streaming, they'll do merch, they'll do this, they'll do that, and maybe they'll do all this stuff. But when a company like Warner Brothers puts that kind of money into a tentpole movie like Superman, they're expecting it to make more than what it did in the box office. No matter what all the people that are saying, they can say whatever they want. That's not how companies work. They don't make a movie saying, well, we won't make the back of the money in the theater. Maybe later we can make it in other ways. That is not the strategy when they're sitting in their board meetings. Do you get what I'm saying, Professor?
No, absolutely not. The strategy is we're going to make back our money plus some because they're going to get the mass, the majority of what they're going to make is going to be in those theater tickets.
Right.
Yes, there is still money to be made. There's still tax rates to be rebates to be had. There's still other stuff, merchandise, toys. There's money that they might get back from partnerships that they've made. There's other stuff that it happens with, like, selling home video and stuff. If actually Warner Brothers has gotten a little bit back into selling home video, which is nice. But those those things are going to bring in some money, but it's never anywhere close to what the box office is going to bring in. And so yeah, they don't want to just squeak by and oh well, we broke even, right? Or, well, we got close. We'll make it back in what we can sell in home video or whatever. That's not what they're hoping for. They want to be able to go into the box office and say, you know what? In the first 7 weeks or whatever, 6 weeks, we made back our whole budget plus, we've made, how much on top of that. And it hasn't happened for Superman. I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I'm not saying that that people shouldn't like it. It's just it's a matter of intellectual honesty. I was telling Price kind of before the show. Valiant Renegade. He had a video yesterday. Shout out to Valiant Renegade. He does a lot of financial analysis stuff, and he was sitting down, like, really looking at the numbers, talking about how, oh yes, the Grace Randolph out there is saying this number, and what other people are out here saying other numbers. And I said, look, the only we can, if you want to take what the studio says at face value, fine. But why, since when have we ever taken what the studio says at face value? It's always in their best interest to try and make the movie look like it was successful. So all we have is third party numbers, and the only third party numbers we have tell us that the budget and marketing ended up costing around $350 million, and it's going to take double that to be able to make all of that back. And they have not hit that 700 million figure. Now, we're not going to know all the details, the internal stuff. Maybe the movie was actually, maybe 225 is an oversimplification. Maybe it was actually 218 or something. Maybe the marketing, it wasn't 125. Maybe it was 127 or
I actually don't believe
157
if
or
if you ask me, I think that the movie was closer to 275 or 300 the budget, and I think that the marketing was at least $200 million,
yeah.
and 700 million was everybody being very kind to James Gunn and Warner Brothers, saying, "Well, you can at least if you can make that, we'll say it's a hit." They
Yeah.
didn't make that,
If you can
and
get it,
there's
it's a
no other
hit.
way around it.
Yeah.
And I will say, first of all, I like the work Valiant Renegade does, and shout out to him as well and all that. But I don't always do this. I'm not like, it's not my style to do this, but in this one case, I'll say that even Valiant Renegade, when this thing initially came out, was kind of on the fence on whether this thing was flopping or not. And I think that the first person, at least in our immediate circles, that came out and said, this movie is a flop. And I'm sorry I'm doing this. I know this is a terrible ego trip of me patting myself on the back, but I do believe it was me. I said it, I meant it, and only after I said it, people started falling. Now, okay, they started seeing the numbers, and maybe they realized that there was really no way around it. But I will say that for me, the numbers seem clear from right out the gate. From the second when I saw that weekend and how poor the international had done, I knew that this movie, there's only so far it can go. Do you get what I'm saying? Even the domestic that everybody's saying it was so great, even that wasn't something like you're watching Avengers Infinity War. You know what I'm saying? This wasn't
Mhm.
that like Avatar numbers domestic. This was a domestic that, relatively speaking, wasn't on the surface a complete disaster if it was complemented by very, very good international numbers, which right out the gate it wasn't.
No, it was not. Immediately, it did not perform well
And I am
internationally,
happy to
and
see Alyssa
yeah,
Marie here. Yeah, but go on.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. No. Oh, well, I will say then, Price, that, I picked, 675, for the, box office, on, Mead before you did.
You did say
So,
that.
uh
You were the one that didn't believe. I'll give you credit now. You did say that. I even said maybe it'll make up to 700. You're like, "Nope, 675." So really, even prior to me
and
saying
it's
it,
not gonna
you
make that. It's not even
no,
gonna make
now
that in the box
really we were
office.
both wrong. It's not even gonna make that. We're
Not even
not
it's
even, it's barely
6
making 600 now.
it's 650 maybe by the time they walk away from the box
Even
office, but
650 will probably be lucky. At
yeah.
this point, when you adjust for inflation, it's not even clear that it's gonna beat Superman Returns. It's not beating Man of Steel, for sure, if you adjust for inflation, even without adjusting for inflation. Uh, the thing with Superman Returns, if you adjust it for inflation, I think it comes out to, like, 625,000,000. Uh, it's gonna be neck to neck with Superman Returns, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
And
I
yeah,
mean
I know that everybody keeps telling me that the fact that they applied for this amount of money doesn't mean that they spent this amount of money, but given how much nonsense we've seen from James Gunn over the past few weeks, him completely spinning in the press and saying stuff that he's obviously lying through his teeth about several topics, the fact that he got upset at the press that said that they filed that the budget was 363. Now, when I put it into context of all of his sort of uh, half truths, to put it, and that's putting it nicely, I'm starting to think that I don't believe him either.
yep.
Because you remember they said, "Well, you filed the thing that it's 363,000,000." He's like, "Well, it's filed, but that's not how it works, blah 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 blah." Everything you ask him, it's not how it works. Everybody's stupid. He's very smart. He knows best, and everybody is super dumb, okay? But at the end of the day, he didn't come out and say, "Listen, this is the budget. This is the exact budget." He didn't say what it was. He's like, "You're ridiculous if you think that's the budget." But he didn't say how much it was.
Mhm.
Do you get what
Yeah.
I'm trying to
Oh,
say?
you're nuts if you think we would come out if anyone would come out with the first movie in a franchise that they said, it would, yeah, that it we would put the first movie out and require it to make 600,000,000 to be profitable. It's like,
Why not? I mean, you're
no.
making a
There's
movie that's
been
supposed to launch a whole universe.
yeah.
This isn't some small art house movie. This was supposed to be this year's biggest pop culture phenomena. They expected this to be, and you don't have a phenomena these days if the whole world isn't singing the praises of whatever you're doing. You don't put this kind of money, you don't put this kind of project together if you don't intend to make real money box office worldwide. Now, it could be that Warner Brothers said to themselves, it's the first movie launching our universe. Even if we don't make a huge profit, at least let's make a splash. And I honestly think that they thought to themselves 800 million minimum. I think that's what they thought to themselves. They probably said 800 million, but if it lands somewhere between 700 and 800 million, we can still kind of present that as a win. Maybe it's a good start to a universe. The second that he barely is scratching the 600 million surface and they're running quickly to put it in on VOD quickly in order to still make a few dollars, that's not a good sign. That's a sign that there's a problem. Not only that, he said today, he was like, well, this is really a complicated situation. Nobody notified me that Peacemaker was going to be shown earlier. And then because they wanted to show Peacemaker earlier, they had to do this VOD sooner. It's like, dude, you're the co CEO of DC. The buck is supposed to stop with you. You're talking like you're the intern now. Oh, how would I know when they put it on streaming? How would you know? The movie is yours and the show is yours, and you're the head of the studio. You think if it's a situation that these
Yeah,
guys,
exactly.
if this is a situation that these guys are making decisions and not talking to the creative CEO of this company, and they don't care, he's a director, as producer, everything, and they're not even telling him, he's just after the fact he finds out that all this shit is happening, sorry Sean, then he is in hot water. Then they are completely pissed with him. So it's either they don't value him and they think that he's a bum, or he's lying. It's one out of the two. Do you get what's bothering me here, Professor?
Yeah, exactly. No, I totally get it. Yeah, I'm with you. It's just so strange how people they're I don't know. They they're just checking their brains at the door as far as just like their willingness to believe that this movie has overperformed in some way, and it absolutely has not. It is underperformed just about in every metric. Again, I'm not making a judgment call on whether someone enjoyed the film, someone liked it, whatever. No, I'm just saying the movie underperformed, and the people they keep arguing it that this was a huge hit. It's nonsense.
It's
It's
nonsense. It
absolutely
is not a
nonsense.
huge hit. This
This
is
movie
not what a huge hit looks like.
underperformed. No.
You know what a hit? I won't even say a huge hit. You know what a hit this summer was? Jurassic World Rebirth. That
Mhm.
movie, you could say whatever you want about it, but that movie is somewhere around the 800 worldwide. And you know what? They've been milking that franchise for years. The fact that they put out another sequel that's so forgettable, nonsensical, and dumb, and yet still they made that kind of money, shows that they understand what it is that they need to do. And yeah, I think that there'll probably be a moment that they're going to stop making that kind of money. If this one made 800 million, the next one is probably going to make like 700 or something or less. But you know what? They managed to squeeze some extra money out of it.
Yep. Wow, how did we get there? What were we talking about? Oh, we were talking about Gavin Newscomb. No, new. Well, I mispronounced his name accidentally, but I'll go with it.
Tom is
Newscomb.
here.
Yeah.
Tom says, except
Oh yeah.
domestically. Yeah,
No, it did
domestically,
well
it
domestically.
did
I mean,
okay. Listen, it's not making like Avengers Infinity War numbers. It did okay domestically, but it's not like, it has grossed out Joker even. I don't Joker made like a billion worldwide. The thing is, this is just there's not enough to hold on to. Today, if you want a successful movie, it's not just doing okay domestically. You need to do a whole lot more than that. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of like they say, well, we'll always have Paris, so Superman will always have domestic. That's what I have to say about it.
yep.
Price, you need to
Yep.
get off this horse. The international box office don't mean shit. Listen, man, all I can say is that it is a flop. It is a box office flop. It's cool if you enjoyed the movie. I love that you're so passionate about a movie and that you liked it. It is an absolute flop. It is not what Zaslav wanted. This thing didn't even beat Man of Steel. Adjusted, if you adjust it for inflation, it's like completely discrepancy. But not even before the adjustment, it didn't do it.
Yep. Yep.
In any case,
Yeah. Oh.
it is what it is. Anyhow,
Damn it.
what were we talking about today?
We were talking about Gavin Newsom.
We were talking about Gavin Newsom, yeah.
Let's see. I had I was sharing a window here, and now
No, you're lying to yourself, Tom, and I respect you and I'm saying that. It made more domestically. If you adjust anything for inflation, this thing is like it did better than Superman 4, maybe Superman 3. Like Superman 4 when the thing was falling apart with Menachem Golan and whatever, when it was like, they couldn't even finish the movie. It beat that if you adjust the numbers. Maybe it beat Superman 3 with Richard Pryor. I actually liked Superman 3 better than this movie, but doesn't matter what I liked.
mm,
Anyhow, anyhow, at the end of the day, the numbers are the numbers. The fact that they ran to streaming quickly shows that it's the numbers. they're scrambling. This isn't what they expected. This isn't the numbers that they wanted. It's a flop, and James Gunn, in my opinion, until now is a failure. Anyhow,
Anyhow, you can
I would gladly add inflation to the budget, but keep in mind that I don't even believe James Gunn anymore, even what the budget is. But that's a whole different story. In any case, we were talking about Trump and
yeah, and Gavin Newsom. We mentioned the ICE raid. Yeah, you can share my screen, Price, presentation mode. We Whoop. Yeah, here we
okay.
go. So, yeah, as we said, Gavin Newsom was making his little announcement today, and I
They
showed
say
up.
that Border Patrol has arrived just outside of the downtown LA venue where Governor Gavin Newsom was actually holding a press conference today. And it appears that those Border Patrol agents are making arrests, illegal immigrants that I don't know if they were at this press conference, if they were in the area, but this is a very, as John put it when we first saw this video, a very in your face way to let, Democrats know that you are going to do your job, that you're going to carry out these Trump policies. Can you just respond to this video that we're watching right now?
Yeah, every single one of our ICE and Border Patrol operations is built on information, on investigative work. It's a case and an operation that has been planned because of who they think could be in that area and what they have for information that shows that there are illegal criminals there. Remember, we're focusing on the worst of the worst. So I don't know specific to what information that they had for that operation that they planned today, but it was based on the investigative work that all law enforcement officers do for every single operation they conduct to make sure that they're getting dangerous criminals off our streets.
Right, but as we saw last week, Secretary, there was a little bit of an in-your-face move where the Border Patrol were making arrests just to show California.
Anyway, yeah. So, yeah, Newsom was very, very interested. Of course, he said today is the day that that Trump is going to pay for for whatever he's done. Let's look for his press conference. We're if he's going to go around and gerrymander all of these different places, so are we. But of course, he had time to step away for a podcast, despite all of his work. I'm wondering if I see.
He's such an unlikable guy, and it surprises me that they like him so much. I mean, I told you this before. I'm not the most political guy. It's not that I love politicians in general. If there's one guy that I just see him and I don't want to hear him say anything, he's just a complete flake to me, a slippery flake. It's this Gavin Newsom guy. I honestly, there's very few politicians that I would go out of my way and say I especially don't prefer this guy, and somehow he falls into that category.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's just this slick, slippery politician type, and oh, jeez, I can't stand him. And right now, supposedly he's by several different metrics, several different groups are saying that he's now the front runner for for the 2028 Democratic ticket for president. And oh my God, I can't even believe that someone this incompetent. I mean, he has run his state into the ground. Oh, yeah. Oh, how that could be your best bet. That's just pretty sad if you ask me, but oh, I wish I could
Yeah, I
find
mean,
that. I wish I
I
could
get.
find that video. Maybe I'll find it again here in a minute.
I guess they're thinking that he's the front runner to run against whoever it is in 2028.
Yeah.
You think to yourself, "Oh, if he's the front runner, he's probably going to lose." But I feel like there's people that are actually going to vote for that guy. I don't know why they would vote for him, but there are people that would vote for him. In California, there's people that actually like him, and it's like if they're Democrats, they'll just accept whatever that guy is. They'll say, "Great." They're not going to question it for a second. The same way now you have in New York people that somebody told them, well, that Zoran Mamdani guy, he's the candidate for the Democrats, and they're going to go vote for him. Doesn't matter what he says. It doesn't matter that what he's saying doesn't make any sense whatsoever. He wants some weird communist policies that have not worked anywhere else, and he wants to apply them to New York, which is the worst place to apply them. And yet still they're like, well, he's the Democratic candidate. We got to vote for him. That's actually why I've never registered with any party. I'm not affiliated or registered with any party. I will go and vote for whoever I think is okay to vote for at that moment. But I'm not tying myself to anybody. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, any party could suddenly change, or any candidate could just be there's something wrong with him, and I don't have that kind of just faith. No matter what, I'm just going to say it's great. But these kind of Democrats that they're like, we have to vote whatever the Democrat candidate is, and they try to explain to themselves why that guy Mamdani is good, or why even like a guy like Gavin Newsom is good. And I've seen it happen. I've actually seen this happening. That's why I like it. I like where I'm at. I'm not blaming anybody if you like your party and you just follow whatever the guidelines are. It's fine. It's just that I don't like to be in that position. I kind of like to think for myself.
Yeah. And genuinely, I think that's awesome. I think everyone should. I think everyone should be thinking for themselves, to think that there's only ever one particular party that you could ever vote for. That's what has led to a lot of this. Look at the candidates. Look what they stand for. Look what their plan is. For your area, and make sure you're voting in local elections too. Local elections are deeply important to how decisions get made, how we run different parts of different parts of the country. It's not all about just who's president and who's your senators or whatever, right? Um, vote your conscience always, and that doesn't necessarily have to tie to a particular party. In recent years, it's gotten a lot harder because the different parties have so significantly just departed from each other. They've become very you know far separated. And there's a lot of people now who feel politically homeless. They
Yeah,
don't feel like they have a place to say, "Oh, I'm a Democrat because this," or "I'm a Republican because this." They feel like there's too much separation between these two. There's too much animosity, and there's too much of this. Well, if you're not with me, you're against me kind of stuff going on, and it's happening in both parties.
I
So
agree with you, and I'll
yeah,
tell you this: I don't know if there's a party these days that really represents exactly who I am, but at the same
yeah.
time, it's hard to ignore what happened on the left, that they've become so extreme in a way. Even if you say there's some stuff that happened on the right that's more extreme, somehow the things that the left are extreme about are really difficult to accept. I don't really know how to explain it. Alyssa Marie, I live in New York City and can believe Mamdani won the primary. I used to live in New York City. I guess I can believe it too. But you know what? There's enough different people that live there that you would think that different communities would be like, okay, this guy is bad news. And the fact that they're just like, nope, we downloaded our instructions. The Democrat Party told us that we need to vote for this guy and we need to vote for him. When I lived in New York, I think I told you this before, Professor, I had a childhood friend that I hadn't seen in some years, and we did a bit of a reunion. And I met up with a few guys, and we had some, beers, and we were all following each other. I think at the time it was Facebook or whatever. Not that I even use Facebook. I log in there once a year, like look at it and run away. But at the time, I guess I was a little more active on it because this isn't, years ago. So this guy, we're all following each other. We go have beers, and I think he sent me something where I can join Obama's fan club. Are you with me, Professor?
Yeah.
So he sent me something like, at the time, it's like, you're invited to join the group, Obama's fan club, or whatever. Even if it wasn't called Obama's fan club, that's what it was. And I didn't know why he wanted me to join that group, and it annoyed me. Maybe I called him. I'm trying to think exactly what happened. And I said, like, hey, I don't know. I had some issue with it. And the bottom line is, not going to get into all the details. The bottom line is, at the end, I looked one day and he had unfollowed me. And it was something like a foreshadowing of what life would be like years later, but it was the early symptom, meaning today when I look at it, at the time it was like an anomaly, but at the end that anomaly became reality, if you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And the fact that even when I said something and like it wasn't just him, it was another place that I remember I was at a party and there was somebody and he was like parroting things that Obama said, almost like you're talking to a robot. He's just spouting out the things that Obama said without even thinking about what he's talking about. He's like, well, folks are going to get to keep their thing. Folks are going to get to that. And I'm just like, are you just like reciting what he's saying? I can't explain to you how much it annoyed me. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like
Yeah.
I was talking to not a real person, but a robot that was just parroting what that candidate or what the person was saying. Now it's fine if you liked him, it's fine. I mean, during those years, he, if nothing else, seemed like a charismatic guy that knows how to speak well. I guess that's worth something. But I mean, I also had my concerns, and I wasn't just gonna just parrot everything the guy says and join fan clubs and do whatever. And I just felt that people were annoying me. You know, I can't explain why this annoyed me, but it annoyed me.
You gotta be in the fan club for the politician.
Alyssa Marie
'Cause
says
they don't have
NPCs.
enough.
Exactly. I felt like they were NPCs. I don't even care. I don't care who you vote for. You want to vote for Obama or whoever the other candidate was, vote for whoever you want. But when I'm talking to somebody and I feel like I'm in that movie, what's it called? Body Snatchers. The
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah, Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Pod people.
They feel like pod people to me. And I just felt that feeling. Both in the guy that unfollowed me and then at the other guy at the party that were around like those same years. Those two incidents for me were red flags. And I've had other ones over the years, even years later, that somebody's like spewing other kind of stuff that he just looks like he downloaded from CNN. It's like the person, he's possessed, just somebody just spouting a bunch of nonsense. It doesn't mean that you have to like the other candidate. It doesn't mean you have to love Trump or love anybody. I don't care who you are, who you voted for. If you sound like you're a robot and you're just like you're not a person and you're just an NPC, I just don't like that in general. And I don't know. It could be that both sides are NPCs, but I do feel like the Democrats are more NPCs. That's my general feeling. If I had to like decide which ones seem more like NPCs to me, from my experience, it's more the Democrats and the Republicans. Doesn't mean there aren't Republican NPCs, but you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah. So here's the announcement from Gavin Newsom from earlier today, where he was talking about what they're going to be trying to do here.
And here we are, an open in plain sight before one vote is cast in the 2026 midterm election. And here he is once again trying to rig the system. He doesn't play by a different set of rules. He doesn't believe in the rules. And as a consequence, we need to disabuse ourselves of the way
he is Trump, by the way, if you weren't sure about that.
way things have been done. It's not good enough to just hold hands, have a candlelight vigil, and talk about the way the world should be. We have got to recognize the cards that have been dealt. And we have got to meet fire with fire. And we've got to be held to a higher level of accountability. So that's what this is about. It's not complicated. We're doing this in reaction to a president of the United States that called a sitting governor of the state of Texas and said, find me 5 seats.
Which is not what happened, by the way. Not how it worked, but okay.
We're doing it in reaction to that act. We're doing it mindful of our higher angels and better angels. We're doing it mindful that we want to model better behavior, as we've been doing for 15 years in the state of California with our independent redistricting commission. But we cannot unilaterally disarm. We can't stand back and watch this democracy disappear. We can't stand back and watch this democracy disappear district by district all across this country, not just in Texas, but in Missouri, where J.D. Vance went just a week ago, in Indiana, in places like Ohio, in places like Florida. We need to stand up, not just California. Other blue states need to stand up. We need to be firm in our resolve.
Okay.
If this guy becomes president, I don't care. This is not a political thing. I'm telling you honestly. Even if you now said he's an independent party, whatever you said this guy is, if this guy were to become president, I would genuinely be concerned. I've seen how he handled LA, like and California, and I just don't have a good feeling about this guy. This is beyond politics. This is a guy that every time I see him talk, just when you have an instinct about a person that something doesn't feel right,
Yep.
it's this guy. Now, you could say, well, Trump is kind of a complicated character. I know he's a complicated character. I'm not saying that Trump is perfect. I am far from saying that. But somehow, between Trump's erratic, eccentric behavior, whatever you want to call it, and this guy, Trump kind of says what he means. He comes out and just says whatever he wants and leaves. And most of the time, he says what he wants, and maybe with no filter, and maybe it's over the top, and maybe sometimes it's even bonkers. But I could sort of understand somehow, in some cases, where he's coming from, even if he's over the top. With Gavin Newsom, you never really know what he wants. It's more of a. It's like it really does feel like you're at a used car dealership. Some guy is selling you a lemon, but he's really, really slippery at doing. He's smooth. He's a smooth talker, and he's selling you a lemon. That's what this guy always comes off to me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, just slick car salesman kind of guy. But yeah, even worse. Like he's the filthy used car salesman who will lie through his teeth to get you the bet. Just rip you off by selling you the biggest piece of junk he can sell you, and get away with as much money as he can. There's some interesting comments below. One of the most popular here from Mr. Gary, number 4, November 4th, Gavin Newsom's political career ends. By the way,
And
that's
here we are, an
the
open and
special
plain
election is going to take place on November 4th. Also, below, and I've seen this statistic elsewhere, there are poll numbers showing that 64% of Californians are not interested in this proposal to redraw districts. A few years ago, they put together this independent commission to determine what the districts would look like. Of course, the independent commission is, of course, almost entirely Democrats, but they put together this independent commission to decide how the districts would be drawn, and so that's the rule. That's how they do things. The districts are drawn by that independent commission. By doing this, they will be overruling the independent commission that they put in place years ago, which was already very left wing. So a lot of people they've basically said, no, we're not interested in you doing this. You can keep talking about this, but stop. Like, so one state decides to redraw its districts. Now you're saying you're going to redraw yours. Okay. Well, how much more can you gerrymander your state with redrawing these crazy districts and stuff? And some people have already done the research. People who have some inside knowledge have kind of shown, and they've supposedly there's also been some leaks as well that have said, what are what are the different districts that they would draw or whatever. And essentially, one of them that's showing has showed that they would at best be able to flip 4 seats out of 9 Republican seats that they have right now. So right now, there's only 9 seats being held by Republicans, period, in this entire state. And they're also, people are losing their mind over, what's happening in Texas. Uh, they were essentially told by the Department of Justice that there were some districts that had to be redrawn because they were racially gerrymandered. So they had to go in and redraw some stuff. Now, some people say, oh, well, that was just Trump calling Newsom to say, oh, you have to redraw your districts and get me 5 more seats in the House or whatever. Uh, this is also so you want to look at some states that are wildly gerrymandered in the way their districts are drawn. Look at some of the bluest states that we've got in the country, like Illinois. Some of the districts are just laughably drawn. You can tell, like, oh, well, they made it so that this one little district stretches out here and gets this other little town, and it stretches out here and gets this other town, and then they make sure that Republican seats are more Republican towns, rural areas are drawn in to areas with very highly populated centers, that are full of Democrats, so that their votes are going to be thrown out. It's a state that already has thrown out so many Republican votes. They have, I'll have to look it up. I had another slide somewhere. I can probably find it, but talking about all of these democratically run states where technically voter-wise, according to recent elections, they've got like 30 and 40% Republicans in their states, but a lot of those states have less than 20% of the actual representation in the state. So it's gotten so ridiculous. So many different states. That this has already happened. It's already been so gerrymandered. I don't know what they think they can do. We do have a Rumble rant and a super chat, by the way. So
okay, hold on one second.
Sure. Yeah.
The Rumble rant, I think it was this to Phobos. Okay.
Yeah.
Ask him about fire aid. Not a single penny of the 100 million raised has made it to fire victims. He hid his charity from the list of orgs that got money. He still took the money, though. There was something that he was asking people to donate to something, and it was like a strange thing that it wasn't the real place they needed to donate to. That's what I vaguely remember.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought Price would enjoy me posting that. That's what Tex Rogers says, but I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I'm missing some context. In any case, let me see for a second what the other thing is that I missed. Ned Landone. Okay. Wait a second. Let me see if I can. How do I do this? Oh, I can share this thing. Okay. I know what to do.
You can do it.
Okay, so Ned Landone, thank you for the $5 super chat. I really appreciate that. It says, joke if Newsom or Pritzker are the nominee. Did you go see Nobody 2 with one of those ladies who saw Freakier Friday? No, those ladies didn't want to talk to me after I said that I didn't think it was such a good movie. I feel like that they really seemed unhappy. But at least if nothing else, I'll say that I guess there were ladies that did enjoy that movie. I personally thought it had a lot of issues, but can't argue if those ladies enjoyed it. And Ned Landone, a joke if Newsom, yeah, okay, so I just read it. Why would I read it again? I guess it's a late hour, Ned. In any case, I did see Nobody 2, and we will talk about it. Now back to this thing. So
yeah, Newsom and Pritzker. God, what a ticket, man! That would be something hilarious to watch, honestly. But yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of people who would vote for him because it'll have a D in front of their name, and that's all they care about. So,
well, somebody here said that I am a fan of the word actually. I didn't even notice that. Am I? Anyhow.
Actually,
there's like a meme where there's like this fat slob saying like actually. Never mind. In any case,
yes, there is.
Gavin Newsom is annoying. I feel like he's trying. Oh, there was something that he tried to tweet like Trump. Did you see that?
Oh, I didn't. I don't think I saw that.
There's something that's like Trump. It's not. It's like Gavin Newsom newsroom or something, or press room or something like that.
Oh, that might not even be him. I don't know, but yeah. Let's see. Gavin Newsom press office, official account of the governor.
Is it really the official account though?
It says official account for press office of California Governor Gavin Newsom, California for all, and
I mean, it has 192,000 followers, and they're making it seem like it's the real thing, and nobody was forced to put parody or anything like that on it.
Yeah, you
So
can share my screen. I think I have what you're talking about here.
okay, 1 second. Only the best technology.
Yep.
Share
Yep.
screen.
The,
Oh,
I
you're sharing
believe
screen.
it. Yeah,
Okay.
this one, I believe, is what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like this
Yeah.
this account keeps doing quote unquote funny tweets that they're trying to be like Donald Trump. I guess when Donald is finished, he is no longer hot. First the hand, so tiny, and now me, Gavin C. Newsom, have taken away his step. Many are saying he can't even do the big stairs on Air Force One anymore. Uses the little baby stairs now. Sad. Tomorrow he's got his meeting with Putin in Russia. Nobody cares. All the television cameras are on me, America's favorite governor. Even low ratings Laura Ingraham edits the tapes. Can't stop talking about my beautiful maps. You're welcome for Liberation Day. America, Donnie J missed the deadline. Whoops. And now I run the one show. Thank you for your attention to this matter. GCN. But the thing is, Trump is actually acting like himself. Gavin Newsom doesn't have any kind of personality of his own. All he can do is try to pretend that he's, acting like Trump, which to me is already an L. If you have a personality, if you have something to say, then say it. If all you're going to do is just try to like mimic the other guy, it just looks like it's not sustainable. You know what I'm saying? So all day it's just going to tweet and pretend it's Trump. It's not. Do you get what I'm trying to say? It's like that's not
Yep.
how you win a battle. If you think that what he's doing is stupid and you think you're better, explain why you're better. But all this ever is just like people whining. I don't see them ever suggesting anything or bringing any kind of solutions. Just my personal opinion, of course.
Yeah. Oh, there was another super chat from Istophobos.
Okay,
Or
wait
not
a
super
second.
chat, Rumble Rant, sorry.
Rumble Rant. Donations. Okay. Istophobos, that wasn't it. They had a huge music concert called Fire Aid and Live Aid, and he promised all money raised would go directly to victims. None of it did. Dozens of bands donated their performances. I see. I totally believe it. None of
Yeah.
that would surprise me. None
Yeah,
of that surprises.
this absolutely, this has been confirmed. They've kind of gone through this. So there was over $100 million was raised, and it was said it would go directly to the victims. I'm going to give you two guesses, Price. The first one doesn't count. Where did the money from this go? How would it be distributed? How do Democrats like to distribute money?
There's probably like other PACs or weird thing, and they funneled it through other weird organizations. But it didn't.
Yes. They funneled it through NGOs, non-governmental organizations, nonprofits. So
See,
they didn't give a penny.
Right.
They didn't give a penny to anybody. They put most of the money that has been distributed has gone directly into nonprofits, not to individual fire victims. So over 120 nonprofits, NGOs were distributed money from this fund and tasked with providing relief. Fire Aid reported it granted $75 million to nonprofits, and then they by the end of August they will be putting out the last 25 million of whatever was there. But it's all going out to different aid organizations like Neighborhood Housing Services, Door of Hope, Pasadena Humane Society, LA Regional Fire Bank, Inclusive Action, Change Reaction, Heal the Bay. These are all a whole bunch of NGOs and nonprofits. So what's going to happen? This company over here is going to get $1 million, or this NGO over here is going to get $1 million. They're going to take 700,000 of that and pay their employees. And then the other 300 is going to go to somebody somehow. Right. But probably not directly to anybody. Not going to go to actually like, oh, hey, you have bills to pay. Oh, you have fees to pay because of, government taxes or whatever. No, it's not going to do that. They're going to make little like aid packages and stuff and give them out. It's absurd. So yeah, Istophobos is 100% right on this. what he's talking about. All of this stuff, it was all claimed that this big, fire aid benefit concert that was thrown in LA, that it was going to all go straight out to all of these victims. No, I guarantee you at least 60% of this is just going to be swallowed up by people working at these NGOs. And as it always does, this is the way Democrats do business. This is the type of corruption that was was exposed and disposed of by Doge, right? That's what they've been looking at. Look, we've got this group. It's giving, a USAID. It's giving billions of dollars out to these NGOs. What's happening? Well, the NGOs are paying themselves huge salaries, and then they're giving some of their money on to other NGOs and other nonprofits who are then paying themselves giant salaries, and then they're getting that. And then, what's happening? Well, those NGOs are giving that money back to this politician and that politician and whatever. And so it's literally just an enormous money laundering scheme to put money back in Democrats' pockets.
There was also something that I think when all of this was happening is like donate to Act Blue or something like that. There was also some other fishy thing. So first it was Act Blue, then he brought the people to do the charity thing that I think nobody ever saw that money. I would believe all of it. And considering also the fact that he does those podcasts and all that stuff, there is absolutely nothing good for me to say about Gavin Newsom. And this is a guy that I didn't like what he did during the Couve days. I didn't like how he handled that whole, summer of love situation. There's a lot of things that he did at the time that was so just hypocritical. And as I said, can't really get into it. But because I do things or have in the past done things that were sort of involved in entertainment, and Los Angeles is a place where at least there used to be stuff involved, the industry, I'd say that a lot of stuff that he did during those Couve days actually affected me personally. And today, he's like, well, maybe I kind of overdid it. Maybe we were a bit this, maybe we're a bit that. He's like self-reflecting. Yeah, maybe it wasn't so good. Maybe I could have done things differently. Maybe some mistakes were made. It's like, dude, just shut up. It's like there's no accountability for anything. A guy that just did so many stupid things and he just continues to walk around like nothing happened. And yeah, and like those NPCs still think, oh, this is a great guy. I don't care. If you told me tomorrow that he crossed the lines and he's a Republican, I still don't like him. I don't think there's anything you can say that would make me like him.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my personal opinion.
Yep. And here I can. Here's the thing I was looking at earlier, kind of covered up by us on the screen here, but I can scroll it up. So these are different democratically controlled states, blue states throughout the country, and you can see the way that they are divided up here. So we have Maine, 36% Republican votes, not a single seat in the House. 42% Republican in Connecticut, no seats in the House. 46% Republican in Maine, no seats in the House. New Mexico, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, Vermont, Hawaii, Delaware, all of them. They have significant number. We're not saying that there's like 2% Republican votes. There's significant Republican votes. Not a single seat held in a single one of those states. And then you get to some of the others here. It's not scrolling. Hold on. There we go. You get to California, 38% Republican. There's 9 of 52 seats. And as I said, there's been some leaks kind of what their plans are for this gerrymandering thing. If it were to go through in California, they would potentially flip 4 of those seats. It would be very unlikely that they would be able to flip more than that. But without potentially risking some of their existing Democratic seats. Illinois, 44% Republican. They only have 3 out of 17 seats, 17%. New York, Maryland, New Jersey, Oregon, all the same, all the same things, right? So to claim that, Donald Trump is doing something ridiculous in what's happening, first of all, he's not in charge of what's happening in Texas. Yes, he's in charge of the party. He's the head of the Republican Party, but that's that's the Texas thing. They get to decide whether that's going to happen or not, and they're going to be doing whatever they need to do to redistrict those seats. Part of it, some people believe, is that they want to redistrict in a way that's not going to take into account any of the non-Americans, the non-citizens who were counted in the census, because many of those non-citizens that were counted, they don't have votes. Why should it matter? They technically are not being represented by the representatives. So anyway, there's a lot of questions about this stuff. Is it wrong to gerrymander? Sure, yes. In fact, there's rules against it. Is what they're doing necessarily gerrymandering? I don't know. There's different groups that say different things, and that redrawing the districts could be very simply just to better represent the people of the state. Whereas if you talk to someone like Gavin Newsom, he is very specifically saying, no, we're redrawing it because we're going to take seats away from Republicans. So they're specifically saying their goal in redrawing it is to ensure that fewer Republicans are elected in their state. And that seems incredibly wrong to me.
Vex Electronica says, I have a picture of Price of Reason and a Newsom for President shirt. Please don't share that with anybody. But
Yep.
I agree with everything you're saying, Professor. And I think there was another rant from Mr. Phobos. Let me make sure that I didn't miss any of his. So there is, most of those NGOs are DEI based, not housing. And California has spent $2.7 billion on fire cleanup, and only one single home lot has been cleaned up in 6 months.
Also true.
All I always hear about is how California got billions for this and billions of that for that, and nothing happens. Like, they don't build the train. Everything is just stuck. Nothing happens. And I don't know. I really that Newsom to me seems incompetent. And in New York now, if they vote for Mamdani, I don't even want to imagine what will happen there. And like I told you, I don't live there anymore, but I did live there for a long time, and it is a place that I actually like. It doesn't make me happy thinking that Zoran Mamdani guy is going to get elected, which this looks to be what's going to happen. There's an 80-90% chance that guy is going to be the mayor. I think he's winning this election.
Oh, yeah, he's got a D in front of his name, and it's New York. Yeah. The chances of anybody, I mean, obviously there's going to be some others who are Democrats who are going to be running as, third-party candidates, as independents, whatever. Yes, they are definitely going to draw votes in, but I think it's going to be Mamdani. He's going to be elected with 19% of the vote or something. Because the vote's going to be spread out through all these different people. I don't know. It's wild. It's wild what's going on. And yeah, Mamdani is.
I mean, the only way that there's any kind of way that he'll lose is if right now there's like 3 other candidates. I think there's Mayor Adams, there's Cuomo, and there's Slawi. I don't remember his.
Yeah, I can't. I don't remember that. Yeah.
In any case, I think that only if those 3 guys made a pact now of some sort, or people bowed out and there was one strong candidate, whoever that was, against him, and everybody rallied behind him, maybe there'd be a shot. But because at the end all these people were thinking more about themselves than actually of New York, then it's not going to happen.
Yep.
And I would absolutely vote for any of those guys if I had the power to, which I don't. But I would vote for any of those 3 over Mamdani. Mamdani would not get my vote. I'd vote for Adams, for Cuomo, for whatever for Slawi. I don't know if his name is Slawi. Sliwa.
Yeah,
I was close.
So we've got Zoran Mamdani. He's the Democratic nominee. We have Curtis Sliwa, who is the Republican nominee. He previously ran
close.
Against...
Come on, Slawi. Slawi was close. Yeah. I was doing
better than me.
Good.
I couldn't remember it. Sliwa, he previously did run against Eric Adams in 2021. Sorry. So then we have Eric Adams, who's the incumbent. He's going to be running as an independent. We have Andrew Cuomo, who's going to be running. He's going to be running as independent. He was, of course, the former governor of New York, who was the governor during the coup, and he got a lot of bad press during that time. Eric Adams, having been the incumbent, yes, that's good for him, except that there
He
were
also
a
had bad
lot of
press.
there are a lot of people that have been giving him some very bad press, partly because he's just not left enough for a lot of people, which is fascinating. And then there's also one other candidate, Jim Walden, who is also running as an independent. He's a lawyer, activist. He has actually been getting some decent fundraising numbers, but I just don't know what kind of presence he's got that would actually bring himself, uh,
Who are you talking about?
bring him up
Sliwa?
into those numbers. Yeah.
Sliwa?
No, Jim Walden, who's run.
No.
He's another independent who's running as well.
There's just
So,
too many
yeah.
people running, and they can't beat that guy. Alyssa Marie says, I hope they're digging deep for some dirt on him. The thing is, all the dirt is already there. He's only
Yeah.
been a citizen for a few years. He's a son to a guy that doesn't like the U.S. They're communist. He's anti-West, anti-U.S., a communist, and all of that is documented. And yet all those kind of NPCs are like, well, he's the Democratic candidate. We gotta put our weight behind him.
Yeah,
And it's like,
he's gonna
why?
stand up to Donald Trump, as if the mayor of any town can stand up to Donald Trump.
Yeah, I don't
It's
think he's
massively
gonna
stupid.
stand up to anybody, and this thing is just gonna be. It's exactly like those things you see in London where they have some kind of bizarre mayor like that they hire they elect and nothing good comes out of it, and I feel like that's gonna happen here too. And the
Mhm.
fact that there's actually people in New York and whatever politics they have in mind is more important than actually listening what this man has said, where he comes from, and the fact that he's been a citizen for 5 minutes. It's just it's bizarre. But yeah, that's just the situation, and it also uh, it kind of shows how dumb the Democrats can't even put a half normal candidate.
Well,
That
this is who they want now. This is
this is what they want.
where the
Well, they're
Democratic
gonna get
Party.
this.
This is where they have been going, and this is why they have historic disapproval numbers. Historically low, numbers at this point, is because they've been continued to shift further and further and further to the left. Where now they are essentially now the Socialist Party of the United States. And not just that, but they're also the party that is going to demand all sorts of different things that a lot of Americans don't agree with, demanding that men be allowed into women's sports, demand you know what I mean, demanding that children be allowed to have sex changes. I mean, they've just gone so completely off the reservation, and now it's not just that; it's that they've also created eh, they've created this environment within their party where if you do not accept every one of those constantly shifting values within their party, you are on the outs. You are, you're canceled. You're kicked out.
The
You
Dems will
have
like
to.
everything. They'll like everything about him, no matter what you say. Nothing bothers them. They'll accept him with open arms.
Oh well, no, Bondani. Yeah, he's everything they want. He's absolutely everything they want in a candidate. He's he's not American. He doesn't like America. He's doesn't like democracy. Doesn't like capitalism. He's as hard left as they get, and he's a card carrying socialist. He's perfect for the Democratic Party of today. That's what they want. So yeah, I'm absolutely certain. Uh, you know, there's a very solid chance he's going to win. I mean, it's New York City. I they've been voting solidly Democratic for quite some time, and they're going to pay for it too. They're going to pay for it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think
It's unfortunate because I know people who live in New York City and the surrounding area, and they're good people, and feel sorry that they're going to have to put up with that. You know.
yeah,
Anyway,
yeah, it's unfortunate. What can we do?
so did you see there was some more news today here? This one actually I I got a bunch of engagement with a tweet, so I'm going to talk about it because you like to do that too.
Okay. Yeah, no, do it.
No, it's fine. It's just here. I thought this was really funny today. This made a let's see, this was one of the headlines on Leading Report. They're just a news, report, regular news. Breaking: Gavin Newsom believes Trump will run for a third term in 2028. Says he received a Trump 2028 hat in the mail. Like, first of all, the way that reads is like he received a bomb threat. Right? I
Wait
got
a
a Trump
second. What did
2028
you
hat
write?
in
I
the mail.
can't see your response. You have to scroll up.
Oh, okay. So anyway, so it's I was just saying all this Trump 2028 merch, it is nothing but an epic troll, and they fall for it every single time. And so a bunch of people, oh, well, until it actually happens, well, it's too late. Gotta stop the maggots. Every time. Oh, it's not. You'll see. Every time.
Yeah, they do get very
So-
excited when you say that.
But yeah, and then of course someone did chime in and say, well, he might not actually be wrong. And someone said, but no, he can't run. It's the law. To which I was like, exactly. It would require 2/3 of Congress. The Republicans don't have that kind of majority right now. 2/3 of Congress. And then 2/3 of states would have to approve a congressional amendment. It's simply not going to happen. And there's no backdoor. Constitutional scholars have already said, look, no, he can't. They're saying, oh, no, they're going to do so. He's going to run. He's going to be vice president. And then the vice president's going to step down. He gets to be president again. No, it is in the Constitution. If you are not eligible to be president, you may not run for vice president. So, for instance, you couldn't run for vice president if you're 25 years old. You're not old enough to be eligible to be president. So you can't run for vice president. You, do you know what I'm saying? Like, if you are ineligible to be president, you're also ineligible to be vice president. So he would not be able to. It just simply won't work. There's all these outrageous conspiracy theories, and I've just gotten so ridiculously tired of these people. He's gonna run for another term. It's like, oh my God, people. He is messing with, he is trolling. This is what Donald Trump does. He is trolling you and you fall for it every time. Just, oh man. And I won't stop laughing at it either because it's absolutely hilarious.
By the way, since we're showing tweets, I forgot to tell you. Do you know that I did a meetup in Beta? I think it was like a month ago or something. I did a meetup.
Oh, you did?
Yes. I'll show you what I meant.
And who showed?
I'll show
Anybody?
you right now. Okay. I'll show you what I mean. Try and find it.
I've done one YouTuber meetup with another YouTuber, and that's because he lives about 35 minutes from my house.
So
although we drove 2.5 hours away from where we both lived to meet.
See here, on the 4th of July, I wrote, Happy 4th of July. I'm at Fort Lee Historic Park for the next 10 minutes. Come say hello. And nobody showed up.
Yeah, well, just nobody was quite close enough to make it there in 10 minutes, Price. You gotta give them a little more notice. Maybe 15 minutes next time.
I tried my best. And I feel like it wasn't even the first. I feel like over the years I've done a number of meetups. Let me see if I can find. Here, there was another one. You want to see my other meetup?
Oh, sure.
Okay. So I did a meetup here. I wrote, meetup alert. For the next 5 minutes, I will be at Gilbert's in Portland, Maine. Come say hello. Not one person showed up to this.
Well,
what's the point in even doing these meetups if nobody wants to come hang out?
Did you at least get some good chowder?
It was actually really good. It was
I bet
really,
it
really
was.
good.
I would not go to a place like that without getting a big bowl of chowder.
Oh man, it was so
Oh.
good. Like that's the place to eat that kind of stuff. It's just really, really good. People are saying, if that's trying your best, you sound like Gavin Newsom. I completely. Alyssa Marie, I would love to meet you. Well, one day I'll do a meetup in New York. I think I once did a meetup in New York. I can't find the tweet where I did it, but I feel like I said that for the next 5 minutes I would be, was it Tompkins Park or something like that? Not even one person showed up, Professor.
Well, one of these
I was
days.
at Comic-Con. If
Yeah.
Vex is
Yeah.
watching this, she'll start laughing. I
Yeah.
was at actually 2 Comic-Cons, and I posted pictures and stuff, and not one person came and said hello. Yellow Flash was at the same time when I was at Comic-Con. Didn't notice I think I was there, and he only wrote like late in the day that he was there, and I would have actually wanted to say hi to him, and he just disappeared. And oddly, when I was making my videos, because there were things that I didn't know about certain people that wrote comics, some of those authors there, and in one of my videos that I kind of did, I said, "Wow, I wish Yellow Flash was here because he probably is so knowledgeable. He'd be able to, give me more info on some of these guys." And he was there, and I didn't know. I mean, honestly, I guess he doesn't know how to recognize me, and I don't know how to recognize him. That's probably initially kind of an issue. Although I did look like Darkman. I did look like Darkman. Price of Reason Live. I'm doing a meetup in the Where's Waldo convention wearing a wool hat. Come say hi.
Yeah. Wool with red stripes? Red and white stripes shirt.
Only celebs meet up with Price.
Yeah.
You know what? They don't remember that they met me anyways. I don't think there's any celebs sitting around and thinking about any meeting we had. Maybe once in a while somebody's like, "Well, once I met this asshole somewhere. What was his name?" And that's probably the only way that like I come up in a conversation. But it is what it is. Adam Gray, I'm afraid Price will mug me for my wallet and Jordans. When I was a kid, I had Jordans really early on when they had them. Was one of those earlier models. I wish I'd never worn them and I just saved them unworn. They'd probably be worth a ton.
Oh, they'd be worth. They're worth a ton. I so badly wanted some pump sneakers. Those were the things that were just the coolest. Everybody wanted the pump sneakers, and I never got them because they were too expensive and we were poor. But then they just became like really stupid, and everybody had them.
You know what? I had them. I had one pair, and they were really nothing to write home about. It was just show and tell. That stupid thing didn't really do anything, except I didn't feel like I needed to really pump or do anything. It was stupid. It seemed cool. I will say that as a marketing idea, it was brilliant. It looked awesome. But when you got the shoes, that mechanism doesn't do anything worthwhile.
Yeah. Yeah. I did eventually get to try some on, and my friend had, and I was like, "Oh, that's all it does." Like there's one little bladder like under the arch of your foot, and it gets bigger. Oh, great. Seems like a waste of time, but okay. Shoes. We were talking about shoes. Well, no, we weren't talking about shoes. What were we talking about, Price? What was our next topic?
Well, topic. Yes, our next topic. We had. I saw Nobody too.
Oh yes, I saw. Angry Badger was posting earlier that he had seen it and he had a great time. Had great things to say. So I'm interested to see what you thought.
You know what? I am going to surprise everybody. Let me share this. I saw the movie, and actually, I was quite disappointed with it, Professor.
Oh.
And this is coming from a guy that really enjoyed the first one. The first one, I had no expectations. I sat and I watched it, and I'm like, man, I like this movie. Really enjoyed the first one, and I was so looking forward to the second one. And I just said to myself, man, I want to be able to enjoy myself again with a good movie. This was one of those movies this summer that I really had hopes for, and unfortunately, in my opinion, it didn't deliver. Now, is it the worst movie I've ever seen? It's not the worst movie I've ever seen, but it's nowhere in the league of the first one. The first one is a surprisingly good movie. It's effective. It does what it needs to do. I like everything that it does. It accomplishes in the right way. It really is a success. The first movie. This second movie feels like they were scrambling to do something. Now, I'll give them credit that at least they didn't try to make the same movie that the first one was over again. They tried to do something different, but man, there's things that don't work about this movie. For starters, and this is the number one thing that stood out, the main bad villain is played by Sharon Stone. I think that Sharon Stone for certain roles is a good actress. I don't think she's a good actress for this role. This is a role that I would have liked to have seen somebody like Gary Oldman do. And Gary Oldman, I mean like think true romance Gary Oldman. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like that he's completely bonkers Gary Oldman, I think would have made a fantastic villain here. And you could tell you needed somebody to really sell the fact that he's like insane. You know, you needed that kind of actor. And I think honestly it needed to be a man. They brought her that she's like a woman, and I hate to say it because like it's not that you can't have a woman villain, but sometimes when you have somebody like a Helen Mirren or some kind of Olivia Colman or some really Kate Blanchett, a really good actress, you can buy the villain thing. I don't really buy Sharon Stone in that villain role. That is a big issue. I don't think she's particularly well written. I don't like the villain itself. And that for me is the top weak thing of the movie. And this is no spoiler. I'm not spoiling it for anybody. I've seen movies that I love Sharon Stone in. And not just Basic Instinct, of course, or Total Recall, but even in I think in Casino, I think she was brilliant in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
She was fantastic in Casino. It's not that I think that she can't do good roles. The villain, they wanted to have this kind of unhinged, wacky type of villain. It seemed perfect for like I said, Gary Oldman. When I saw it, I said Gary Oldman. They should have gotten a phone call. That's what I thought when I saw it. Uh, that's one thing. The other thing is that there's a moment at the end that, in addition to her being, you know how in recent years there's been a situation that if there's a woman villain, and then you kind of need a woman to also go up against her and things like that. I don't want to spoil, but there were a few minutes like that, and I was just kind of rolling my eyes. You know, this movie didn't need to try to rope in like a more female girl bossy demographic. It didn't need to do any of that. This was a movie that had its target audience. It had its people that are going to watch it. I feel like they were trying different ideas here. I appreciate that they tried different things. Bottom line, though, it's very by the numbers. It's very generic. It's very by the numbers. And it's generic and by the numbers and not in a fantastic way. The one thing I can say is it's always a pleasure seeing Bob Odenkirk. I think that even with a very weak screenplay, he does a lot of work here. I like Christopher Lloyd, who has a small role in the first one, small role here. Always
Yeah.
nice to see him, but it really feels like they're really trying to do a lot of heavy lifting with a screenplay that, in my opinion, overall feels weak. Uh, the idea of him going on vacation and there being an issue and some people that he needs to deal with, I don't mind that. I think that there were some good ideas that they could have done that. Maybe somebody from a past life or whatever you want to call it that recognizes who he is and he's on vacation with his family and then it becomes like an issue. There is something there that you could have pursued, but the way they did it with so many kind of plot conveniences and it didn't feel as polished, as interesting, and as well made as the first one. The first one, it beats this movie on every level. And if the first one for me was like, genuinely a good movie, this movie is just kind of okay. That's all I can say about it. and it's
Yeah.
unfortunate. And it's not because I'm a douche and I don't like movies. I really wanted to like this movie. Just so you know, I really wanted to like the Superman movie too. It's not that I didn't. I kept saying, I really hope I'll go and it'll be a good Superman movie. I really wanted that to be the case. It just wasn't. I didn't want the Fantastic Four to be bad, although I suspected that it would be in that case, and it was. Uh, but I didn't want it to be bad. I am capable of admitting when something, even if I think it's going to be bad, that it's at least watchable. Like Jurassic World Rebirth, I thought was a dumb movie, but I didn't completely hate it. And it's the same way I felt about Thunderbolts, also a dumb movie. Also, I didn't completely hate it. For whatever reason, there was something about it that at least had the mild entertainment. Neither of those movies for me are like top tier of anything. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
They're even low tier, but there's something about them that didn't give me the feeling that I'm suffering. Whereas Fantastic Four and I suffered a little less than Fantastic Four, but in both cases I was even more disappointed than those other movies.
Mm.
And the final thing
Okay.
I'll say is I don't know why we keep getting back to this, but Superman was also a movie that for me couldn't be just okay barely. Like I wanted that movie to really be a good movie. If you're doing Superman, you have a certain responsibility. You have to honor what that is. You can't just half-ass that. And that I think that's what bothered me so much about that Superman movie.
Mhm. Yeah.
But that was my take on Nobody. And if you want to give me somebody is saying, Tomahawk is saying, Oldman might be too old to do his usual Oldman stuff. If you see Sharon Stone doing the Sharon Stone stuff, and I tell you, how about we bring Gary Oldman? You're taking that deal on the spot. 2 minutes into her performance, I tell you, what if we call Gary Oldman and we bring him to replace her immediately? You'd say yes. Here's my phone. Call him now.
Mm-hmm.
That's what would happen. So, yeah, what can I do? And what I'll say is that if you're like itching to see a movie and there's no other movie to see and you really want to go to the theater and you want to watch a movie, there's probably worse ways to go than to see this movie. It's not like a movie that'll make you angry. It's not the worst thing. But man, if you're expecting the first movie, you're in for a rude awakening. This is not Nobody 1. This is Nobody 2. There's a big difference.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of franchises that suffer a slump on the second film. Either they borrow too much from the first one, or they depart too far from the formula, or they just phone it in. We've seen all of that happen in different franchises where they knock it out of the park first time around, and then the second season of a show, second film in a series, where it just falls off. That's not universal, obviously. There's plenty of places, plenty of different franchises where they've taken what they learned from the first one and they've done something very, very solid in how they evolved this story, how they evolved the characters and everything. Star Trek 2, for instance, Wrath of Khan, widely regarded as a much better film than the first one. I enjoy the first film. Don't get me wrong. I really do enjoy the first film
Don't they find
for
some
what
old
it is.
satellite from back in the day in the first
Oh,
one
it's
on some?
the story's a little kooky, but if you
You know
know
what? I didn't mind
some
it
of the
though.
history,
I liked that first movie. I didn't
yeah,
hate it. I
no,
admit
it's
I've seen Wrath of Khan more. I probably like Wrath of Khan more, but I used to have a video cassette that I think that I taped from the TV or something with the
yeah,
Star Trek the first movie.
the
I
motion
didn't
picture.
I
Yeah,
didn't hate it. I didn't hate the movie. I understand it's kind of slow. It may not do the
yeah.
thing that everybody wants it to do. You know what? I can't say that I didn't like it.
It is the most Star Trek of the Star Trek films. It took its time exploring and talking through different philosophical things and ideas and whatever. That was very much the Star Trek formula. It was not Star Wars, and that's what a lot of people were expecting. They're like, well, Star Wars came along, so now let's make let's make Star Trek into Star Wars. And instead, it was fairly slow and philosophical and, character focused. And that was, not what a lot of people were hoping for at the time. But yes, that first one is the one where there's a satellite that, comes back to Earth looking for its creator, which a lot of people did malign early on because that was the plot of an episode from the original series. There was the Nomad probe in the original series where it collided with an alien probe, and now it had its memory sort of messed up, and it was looking for its creator, and it thought Captain Kirk was the creator. So yeah, a lot of people referred to Star Trek the motion picture as where Nomad has gone before because of that. Yes, the episode title was The Changeling Empress. But yeah, the that film, I will also say this. Star Trek the motion picture introduced the most beautiful starship ever. The refit Enterprise, just gorgeous. There's a reason I was willing to plunk down money for that $700 Tomy stainless, or not stainless steel, but cast aluminum model that they're coming out with later this year, because oh my gosh, I love that ship so much. But
Well,
yeah, the first
speaking of
movie,
Star Trek,
very different, but good.
before I forget, because I wanted to ask you this, I saw now that Paramount, now that they've completed the merger, they're all kind of like guns blazing. And I saw something stupid that they're like, we want to make movies with J.J. Abrams. It's like, dude, don't make movies with J.J. Abrams. Don't make Star Trek movies with J.J. Abrams. I really wish that they
I
wouldn't
don't
do
get
any
it.
of this.
No.
Is there any kind of understanding what's going to happen here? Because I feel like Paramount, no matter who owns it, they're not learning the lesson. Star Trek has been driven off a cliff. They need to get rid of Kurtzman and J.J. Abrams. Those people should never have anything to do with Star Trek, should never be mentioned in the same sentence as Star Trek, should both, in my opinion, never work, just my personal opinion, should never work in Hollywood again. They have enough money and they suck. They can just go. Star Trek really needs to be, there has to be a new strategy with people that actually like it and know what to do with it and are not just doing some weird political platform. Am I right? Did I see something with J.J. Abrams? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I've seen a number of different rumors. There's been rumors that that they are in fact going to be canning the second season of Academy and ending the contract that he has with Paramount, that Kurtzman has, that Secret Hideout has. There's been rumors that that's happening. There's been rumors that now they're like, well, we're going to do that, but we're going to turn around and start making movies again. And we want, these directors to be involved, or this team to be involved, or whatever. For God's sake, no. Please keep JJ away from Star Trek.
So he says that his priority is Top Gun 3. I have no issue with that. Star Trek, which I generally like, I just don't want. If it's more of the same crap, I don't want that. World War Z, I couldn't really care one way or another. World War Z is a movie that I think people are more excited about than they should be. I saw it once. I can barely even remember what I was looking at. It was just there. I guess Brad Pitt was fine in it. Couldn't care less about it. Never wanted to rewatch it again. Barely even remember. I can barely remember what I was watching, and I usually remember very well. It was a stupid generic movie that I forgot about the second I finished watching, for me. Did you like World War Z?
I don't think I ever saw it. I might have watched part of it, like on an HBO thing or something. I don't remember. I remember some of the stuff from it because you're talking about Brad Pitt, but maybe I did see it and I just have just forgotten. Maybe it was just that forgettable.
I mean, I see that they're saying something. It says Star Trek has not been in theaters since 2016, has largely been overseen by Alex Kurtzman with a lengthy list of Paramount Plus series. Execs said that Trek would be looked at holistically rather than siloed off between different parts of the company, such as film and TV. We're going to make sure those conversations are happening together so that we can do what's best for the brand as a whole, said Film Coverage. This is a bunch of fluffy nothing. Doesn't mean anything to me. This is shit. Sorry, Sean. On the Paramount Plus side, Ellison acknowledged the importance of Taylor Sheridan. Yeah, he's the only guy making shows for you. It's like he wrote, is literally a singular genius with a perfect track record. Well, I mean, he has a good track record, but if we're being honest, Yellowstone, that final season went off a cliff, and part of it is his fault. Part of it is Kevin Costner's fault, but he's also at fault. I don't know. I thought that there was something that I read about possibly J.J. Abrams. I hope I'm wrong. But what are they saying? Movies they're trying to do Goonies and Night at the Museum. Who cares about those?
Yeah, Goonies has been rumored for a while. I think that one's actually has been in pre-production for a while.
I'm so
remaking
tired of this.
Goonies.
Just come up with a new idea. Remember the 80s? You know, when I was growing up as a kid, every week there was some other new movie in the theater, something that nobody has ever done before, that was completely new, original, and fun. People took risks. People tried different ideas. There was fun to be had. And these days, it's all miserable crap, and they're just recycling it over and over again, and they're not even recycling it well. It's like a cheaper carbon copy of a cheaper carbon copy all the time.
Well, and they're all very predictable. You know, we're gonna remake Goonies. Let me guess. It's gonna be a group of all girls going on their last adventure together with one simp boy who's gonna be along with them for the ride or whatever. Who's gonna be a wuss, or he's gonna be gay coded or something. Please, we know exactly what you're gonna do with a remake of Goonies. You're gonna screw it up. You're gonna throw in all sorts of identity politics BS to try and appeal to the message and the modern audience. Don't care. Guess what? Goonies, not a great film, but a fun kids film, a fun family film, doesn't need to be remade. Highlander does not need to be remade. There's lots of films out there, really classic, great, enjoyable films that were a product of their time and had great actors that were part of them. They don't need to be remade. And they keep telling us, well, we every time we come up with some new idea, we have to do remakes. It's the only thing we can do, because when we put new ideas out, nobody watches them. That's funny. Sure, a hell of a lot of people go into the theater to see I forgot the name of it. The new one that you just saw. The horror film Weapons. Yeah, there's a ton of people going to see Weapons. That's not an established IP. That's not a remake. Somebody made a new movie. They made a horror story. They put new characters in it. They hired actors. They made a film, and they made it for a reasonable budget. And guess what? It's hugely successful. It's gotten great buzz. I think its second weekend is going to be massive. I really do. It's really doing well. And so I just don't, it's just people are I'm so tired of all this very predictable garbage, being pumped out, the sludge just being pumped out of Hollywood. And yeah, there are original things being made. No, maybe they don't get a giant audience. That's okay. Make your original thing for a reasonable budget, then it'll appeal to the people that want to see it, and you'll make your money back.
By the way, before I forget, if you're on Rumble using the app and you haven't yet followed us, you should do that. And if you're on YouTube and you haven't yet subscribed, you should click the subscribe button. So that way you'll always know that when we're streaming, and you can hang out with us whenever we do. Another thing I wanted to see, I just see this article came out. Kid Cudi details heartbreaking falling out with Kanye West. I don't know that version of him. Kanye West himself is a weirdo, and I'm not a guy that I like. It's a shame, because I think that I think the guy has real mental issues. Kid Cudi, on the other hand, is a douche, in my opinion. That's my humble opinion. I'm not going to say any more about that. I'll just say, I maybe have I said anything before?
You might have met or been involved in in a situation with
I've
him?
interacted him with him before, and he
Yeah.
did not leave a good impression on me. So basically, two people who I don't have good thoughts about apparently aren't friends with each other.
Oh no.
Although I will say that Kid Cudi is just kind of a run of the mill douche, whereas Kanye West is just completely bonkers and out of his mind. So make of that what you will. But I just thought it was interesting that this thing came up.
Oh. Did you see the story about Denzel Washington not being interested in getting Oscars anymore?
No, I didn't see that. Show me what's it about.
Oh, okay. There were a few stories about it, but essentially, people were talking to Denzel Washington. They were like, it's been a long time since you won an Oscar. Don't you want to get back in the movies, get more Oscars? Let's see. Shoot, here. If the incredible technology we have here at Price of Reason Live
Elizabeth
Studios.
Quinn says, "Question, Price. Do you think that weapons is somewhat about what we did to children during the coup?" You know what? I think that one of the good things about weapons is whatever it is that it's trying to say or do, it's not a hammering or blunt propaganda type of thing. Maybe somebody could see it and get that feeling. I mean, when you say it and I think about it, could certainly be applied to something like that. But at the same time, it's not I don't think it's heavy-handed. Nothing that happens there is heavy-handed. The one thing I can say about weapons is it wants you to go in there and be immersed in the movie, uh, whether you like that kind of genre or not, whatever it is. It's an escapist movie, and I didn't feel like it was aggressively peddling propaganda, in my opinion, one way or another.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, sorry, you go
So,
on.
no, I just it's kind of an interesting story. Denzel Washington, who of course, absolutely one of the top actors who's ever been on stage, ever been on film.
I agree.
Denzel is an absolutely incredible performer. He's got 2 Oscars. He doesn't need any more. The man is well known to be one of the finest actors we've ever had. But it was interesting because they were talking to him. He's in this new film that's being released on Apple TV, and it's got a limited release in theaters called Highest to Lowest. It's a new Spike Lee film, which means I probably could care less about seeing it. I haven't really liked much of anything Spike Lee's ever made, but uh, they were asking him about, if he's concerned about the Academy Awards, winning, whatever, and he said he's not that interested in Oscars after a 50-year screen and stage career. I've been at this a long time. There's times when I've won, should have won, didn't win, should have won. Man gives the award. God. This is actually a misquote. They typed this wrong. Man gives the award, God gives the reward. I'm not that interested in Oscars. People say, well, where do you keep it? I say, next to the other one. I'm not bragging, just telling you how I feel about it on my last day. It ain't good. It ain't going to do me a bit of good. So just saying, like, you know what? I've made my career. I've gotten where I am. I'm
He doesn't have
happy.
anything to prove to anybody at
No,
this
he's got
point.
nothing to prove, right? And people are out there, "Oh, you worried about the Oscars? You concerned about the Oscars?" No. Doesn't matter to me one bit. I win or I don't. I don't care.
Yeah,
I got other more important things to think about than winning an Oscar.
absolutely.
He's such a just so based. I love Denzel Washington. And just incredible
I agree with you.
performer.
I've always liked his approach. I liked his attitude, his professionalism, and he is a great actor.
Yeah,
And
there's
like you said,
there's not a film that he's been in that he has not elevated the quality of what's happening in that
every
film
movie is better
his
with him
with
in
his
it.
acting.
He'll always
Absolutely.
make the movie better. There's never been a movie that I saw him and I said, "Man, he really phoned this one in. He just collected a check." Even if he collected a check, he took that role seriously. Like you have
Sure. Yeah.
every scene, he's 100%. I'll give you an example. Equalizer 2, out of the 3 Equalizers, is probably the least good Equalizer. But let me tell you something, even there's a few scenes that he kind of goes into like a monologue and talks, and like even there he's giving like a grand slam performance. It's a movie that maybe doesn't even require it, but it doesn't matter because he's that good.
Oh yeah. there are, I'm not the kind of guy who really gets like starstruck, right? To me, they're just other people, you know. The few times I've had an opportunity to meet somebody, it's like, yeah, sometimes you get a little sweaty or something, but it's like I'm not like sitting there where I can't even use my words, kind of thing, just completely shut down. Uh, if I were around Denzel Washington, I don't know what I would say to the man other than thank you, because I would genuinely be starstruck to meet Denzel. He's just such an incredible. But yeah,
Yeah,
um,
I think the only time that I was really genuinely happy that I met an actor that I was genuinely happy, it was probably Al Pacino.
yeah.
I, I mean, The Godfather. Okay, like that's
Oh
my
God,
favorite
yes,
movie, and
absolutely.
he's Michael Corleone. Like that's not to mention other great movies and other great roles. He's Al Pacino, but that was a moment that I really felt like, okay, this is really cool, and so rare that I would feel that. But yeah, Denzel Washington is certainly on the level that if I met him, I'd be genuinely excited that I met like a real actor.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
where you just like you're not even sure what words would be adequate to be like, I'm talking to Denzel Washington. Like I love William Shatner, and I didn't have any trouble striking up a conversation with him, right? Like he's just a dude. He's another guy. And to be honest, most of the time he's pretty chill. So yeah, we just had a little conversation when the opportunity I had to meet with him.
And he had
But
Pacino had a real good vibe. Like
yeah, oh yeah,
it was fun. I'm not going to go into this again. I told you that I was the first person that took a selfie with him,
took a selfie with him. Yeah,
and then Mario Lopez said that the selfie and it was annoying. But yeah,
yeah, yeah. So anyway, I saw that. I was like, well, yeah, yeah. It's actually someone said, who is it? I saw in the chat. Empress in him said he's fulfilled. It's a pleasant rarity in Hollywood. That's true. It's kind of what I thought. I'm like, that's so rare for someone in Hollywood to just kind of put their ego aside and be like, Oscars? I don't care. Like, I already have two of them. What does it matter now, right? Like, I'm just out there doing good work and enjoying my life and being who I am. And yeah, if I get them, great. If I don't, okay. Seems incredibly strange to come from someone in Hollywood these days.
yeah. He's always had a good kind of I don't know if to say attitude or how to explain it, but he's always had like a good approach. He never became this kind of snooty celeb, or I don't really know how to explain it. He always just seems like he is who he is. And as for Spike Lee, I'm going to say something that's going to surprise you. Spike Lee used to have a niche. Before the whole world went woke, if you wanted to watch a movie that was a bit woke, you could watch his movies. Now, when all
Oh
the
yeah,
other movies weren't woke, and you knew what you were signing up for if you watched his movie,
yeah.
I didn't hate that there were such movies because it's interesting to see a perspective that comes from that direction. But the thing is that these days, if you want to show me one of his movies now, I'd probably just I have no energy for it. You know what I mean? It sounds terrible what I'm saying now, but I think that the woke movement has basically destroyed Spike Lee's whole existence.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the past, you didn't have these things that they kept like for years hammering over and over again the same stupid agendas. So if you watched a movie and you wanted to address like and do the right thing, which I still think is a decent movie, where it's a neighborhood where they're showing like the tensions between the black people and some Italian people and the police, and I thought that the movie, uh, especially during the time that it was made, it was an important movie. And there were other movies that he made that I thought, he is a quality director. He's not he knows how to direct a movie. He's not just a clown, in my opinion. But these days, if now you told me, well, do you want to go see a Spike Lee movie where he complains about a lot of stuff? I'm like, I don't have any patience for it. Am I a terrible person? Do you get what I'm trying to say, Professor?
I know exactly what you're trying to say. Like when you said earlier, you knew what you were signing up for. Yeah, it's like, I'm going to see a Spike Lee film. I'm signing up to be lectured to by a film. That's what you were signing up for. And sometimes that was all right. You went in there knowing what you were getting, right?
Right.
So, yeah, I totally understand. I think I've probably seen 2 or
Isophobo
3
says
of his
Spike Lee is
movies.
practically right wing by comparison. Yeah,
I
probably
mean,
a lot of stuff
yeah.
wouldn't even be well received. There's like women and things and whatever. Probably some of that stuff would be considered offensive. But I think that he was the voice. He was the voice. You wanted to see a movie like that. You go to the theater. You all the stuff that we got in the MCU now for like 10 years. When you went to see a Spike movie, like a Spike Lee movie, you're expecting that things like that will happen there. You've signed up for it. And as sort of a one off, amongst a lot of movies that don't do that, if you wanted to see that perspective, once in a blue moon, he'd release a movie and you're like, okay, well, that's his perspective.
Yeah.
But
A
these
Spike
days,
Lee joint.
right. It's fine. That's how he made his career. That was his shtick. It's fine. But I just think that like they've priced him out of the market. If you understand what I mean, they
Mhm.
he's been just diluted. The marketplace diluted Spike Lee.
Oh, yeah, yeah, everyone had something, really to say about race and sexuality and, all, people being racist and whatnot. So, I mean, I think society just sort of moved past anything he had to say.
No, but back in the day, even like people were like, okay, let's go see this Spike Lee movie. Spike Lee always has a lot of commentary about a lot of stuff going on. And like, the kind of commentary you're getting, you know what it is. And he carved himself that space, that was his space. But now it's everybody's space.
Yep.
I almost feel bad for Spike Lee in a way. You know what I'm saying? Like he should have patented that thing that he did because they all took it away from him. Now he's just like in a sea of whatever. He's just a person there, and they made whatever his brand is kind of unpopular if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
They've diluted his shares, but it is what it is. What else did we want to? You saw Alien. You saw that Alien thing that I've been hearing about. Maybe you can give us some information about Alien because I haven't had a chance to see it, and I'd like it if you could say what you think about it.
So, yeah, I did get to watch the first couple episodes. First of all, I'll just preface this by saying I haven't really watched much of anything aliens, whatever, since the fourth one. The third film I was very disappointed in. I was sad. I've told this story before actually that I was not able to go to the theater. I was at camp that year and could not go to the theater to see the movie. But I picked up the novelization on the way to camp and read the novelization. I was like, man, this is pretty good. I want to see this movie. And I saw the movie and it was awful. It was bad. And I was like, man, well, this sucks. But then they had the fourth one coming. I was like, oh, but they're gonna have the return of Ripley. She's gonna come back. There's gonna be all this crazy, new versions of aliens coming up, whatever. That literally probably the closest I've ever gotten to walking out of the theater. Saw it with a good friend of mine, and I was like, this movie is terrible. And so, but instead of walking out of the theater, there were only about 4 people in the theater at the time seeing that movie, and so we just basically started making fun of the movie because
Are you talking about the Alien 3?
4 Resurrection.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So yeah, three was bad, but yeah, got to see 4. Saw it with a friend, and I that's probably the closest.
Remind me, was 4 the one with Naomi Rapace or whatever her name is, or is that different?
Yeah. So who all is in Alien Resurrection?
Or didn't they bring Sigourney Weaver back or something?
They did, yeah. So they brought her back for that one. So it also had. I'm trying. Oh God, my brain's. It's too late at night. My brain's not working.
I can't even remember what that movie was about. I believe I've seen all the Alien movies.
It had Sigourney Weaver, Winona Ryder. That's what I was trying to think. Winona Ryder is a synthetic crew member. It has Ron Perlman. It has Brad Dourif plays one of the scientists. Anyway, so the idea is that they've gotten she, at the end of the third film, she throws her body into a pile of uh throws her body into the big molten thing of lead or whatever. So the fourth movie was that they recovered her DNA from this lead and they're trying to remake her whatever. And I hated that movie. Then there's like this half human, half alien hybrid thingy that's in there. It's terrible. Tim Hayes said, "Didn't you say Alien 79 was bad?" No, Alien 79 is one of the best horror films ever made. That movie still gives me goosebumps.
Alien and
Holy hell.
Aliens,
Yeah,
Alien and
Alien and
Aliens.
Aliens, both. They're excellent. They're so
They're
well
excellent
done.
movies, and it's the best this franchise has to offer. To date,
Absolutely, yeah.
nothing has
So
been done that's better than Alien and Aliens in this
yeah,
entire franchise. I don't care what you bring me, what technology, what new production techniques, whatever you want to tell me, nothing is better than those two movies.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, the first one, absolutely fantastic film. I'm not a big fan of horror. I'm not a big fan of thrillers. Alien 1979 is fantastic, and the work that they do making it feel so claustrophobic and making it feel like you're in such peril by the shots, the way that make the halls feel really claustrophobic, and the way that they just very briefly show the alien here and there until the very end of the film. It's so well done. Maybe the best thing Ridley Scott's ever made. It's just insanely good. And then there's the sequel, Aliens. Where they take it a totally different direction. It's more of an action film, and it works really well. In fact, the director's cut or special edition or whatever that came out, I think is the best version of that film. It's really well done. It's fantastic. Unfortunately, the 4K version that they made of Aliens is an abomination because instead of going back to the original negatives or interpositives, they did a bunch of AI upscaling of video, and it's horrifying. It's absolutely horrifying. Which is very disappointing because I very much enjoy that movie. But the third movie was very disappointing. The fourth movie was awful, and so I just kind of checked out after that. I've hardly seen any of the newer stuff. Apparently, this series happens before the Nostromo, before the first film. So this is the idea behind Alien Earth is that there is another spaceship. This is a spaceship from Weyland-Yutani that is out collecting alien specimens. And you find this out fairly early, and it's in the trailers as well. It's been out collecting these alien specimens. When it returns to Earth, it is out of control and then crashes into the Earth. So what you don't get fully explained in the trailers that you learn pretty quickly in the first episode is that this enormous spacecraft has crash landed into a different part of the world, and at this point in history, the planet Earth is controlled by these 5 different companies. And so it basically lands in a different country than this spacecraft belongs to. And so there's this sort of corporate espionage thing going on where, oh, hey, that we're going to be able to steal some of the secrets from Weyland-Yutani because our different company we're going to be able to get to that first before they get here. And so there's supposed to be some sort of I don't know, tension there between the two companies. I didn't feel it at all. But okay. Maybe that's something that really comes into play later that doesn't just happen over a Zoom call, because that's basically what it does. The different corporations are just arguing with each other over a Zoom call. But the spaceship crashes, and then there's groups that go in to explore it. Now, the thing that is not sort of completely explained in the trailers is that there's this group of people that they show that's going to be going after whatever has crashed in the spaceship. And in this case, it is a group of what is called hybrids. So these are humans who have had their minds uploaded into synthetics. So there's humans who are just purely human. We also have cyborgs. These are people who are, augmented humans. They are humans, but they have biomechanical stuff in them. Then there's synthetics, which are just totally, completely synthetic, creatures, kind of like Bishop from the earlier films, right? And then we have these
Okay.
new hybrids that are being made by this one corporation, and there's only a few of them. And the thing about it that I'll be honest is a little gross is that the humans that have been uploaded into these adult bodies are children. They have the minds of children. So there's even one scene where you have a young girl who's been uploaded into a body and she's complaining about having boobs. Right? No, I don't like it's there's some stuff. I don't know. That's
Professor,
kind of
you're not
weird.
really selling me on this show. Nothing you've
No,
said now
no.
until now sounds good.
So we have this group of these hybrids that we're learning about, and they kind of show us a bit as the different hybrids are being created. These sick children, most of them are sick or disabled, have cancer, stuff like that, and so they're basically given a second lease on life. Which honestly, okay, I get it, right? These would be the type of people who you could say, well, we're going to give them an opportunity to continue living. The problem is that they actually separate these children completely. They can't let this be excuse me. They cannot let this be known that this is happening. And so they basically take the kids and then tell the family the kids are dead. Or the family is told that they have to tell them, people that their kid is dead or whatever. And then they're never allowed to go back to their families. Because they do technically, the kids die when they move their minds over into these synthetic bodies. So we focus on one character who they go with a Lost Boys idea from Peter Pan, where they name a bunch of the characters are named after people from Peter Pan. So the main central character we know chooses the name Wendy, and she's sort of the leader of all the Lost Boys. And she has a brother who she's left behind, who she's kind of obsessed with. They show her on multiple different occasions that she's sort of peeping in on her brother. She's using cameras and stuff to find her brother and follow him around so that we learn about who he is and whatnot. Well, it ends up that he is one of the people who is nearby and works for this corporate military and has to go in and help with the search and rescue of this crashed ship. And so she convinces the people in the company to let them in their super enhanced bodies to go in and help with this search and rescue because she wants to go help her brother. So that's kind of the central story here, is that we've got this crash ship and we've got this group of what look like young adults but are actually children's minds that are going to go in and try to save the people in this area and whatever. We do know, we saw in the trailers, this ship that comes back has a bunch of different alien life forms on it. We're shown several of them. Some of them very creepy. Others you're not really quite sure what's going on. One of them is a that you're shown kind of looks like an eyeball with tentacles on it. And if you see the screens and stuff that are in there, if you pause on there, what they know about this little tentacle creature is that it likes to crawl into creatures, rip out the one of its eyeballs and replace that eyeball, and then use its tentacles to like take control of its brain. So it like creates a zombie, essentially. Very creepy. We also see, of course, the classic alien. I thought in this case the classic xenomorph alien uh, that we've seen before. I honestly didn't like the look of the alien in this. There was something about it that, even though it felt like it was practical, felt kind of cheap in the way that it was made, if you know what I mean. And then
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
yeah, and so then we get to see sort of the xenomorphs tearing through, killing a bunch of people. We see some of the other creepy aliens. We see some of the corpo military people boarding the ship and kind of running into some of these other creatures. Um, body horror stuff, kind of expected. A lot of gore from people being ripped apart. There was only one time when I thought there was anything that approached any sort of humor. There's when they're trying to evacuate the whole building. There's some wealthy people having a ridiculous Victorian era party where they're all painted up with the white makeup and red cheeks and fluffy suits and all that stuff like that. And they're like, "Oh well, no, we're not leaving. We're so that was kind of ridiculous. Um, let's see. Fractured one says the and CGI are practical. It's clearly a blend of those. There's absolutely some practical alien effects in here, but it's augmented with some CGI. I just think the practical model that they use just doesn't feel as advanced. It doesn't feel as alien as the one from the original 1979 film. It feels kind of cheaply put together. I don't know, um, but yeah. So we've gotten the 2 episodes so far. The first episode really focuses almost entirely on the children, Wendy and the other lost boys. The second episode focuses almost entirely on the crashed ship and their first episode, their first efforts to try and save people, rescue people, and their first encounters with some of the creatures that have escaped from this, from this scientific research vessel. Overall, didn't love the characters. Thought a lot of them really just, inch deep, not particularly interesting characters that I want to learn more about. There's more than a few scenes where there's a scene where she reunite. I mean, this happens in the second episode. In fact, I even think you see it briefly in trailers. There is a scene where she reunites with her brother. Wendy reunites with her brother, and it's pretty cringe. I didn't like it at all. Uh, just overall, not impressed with this. One, it feels like they're rewriting the history of the Alien franchise again, just like they rewrote it for Romulus. Like, uh, when we saw the first Alien and then Aliens, these xenomorphs were incredibly rare. Like no one had ever seen such a thing. It was wild. We found out about this thing and we got to go, recover it, whatever. So, but now like xenomorphs are freaking everywhere. So I don't.
It all sounds kind of lame. Sometimes I think that at some point, either you bring the right people and you really contribute something to this story. If you're just gonna do like littering of lore and just try to create, especially with all these kind of prequels, I don't need to know what happened back in the day. And this all sounds like a strange patchwork. It's
Yeah.
kind of like what Kathleen Kennedy does with Star Wars. I
Yeah.
don't need any of this crap. If you want to tell something that happens in the future, you could try to go there. Maybe there's something interesting to tell. Otherwise, I don't really care.
And I genuinely think I know where this is all going to go in the end. That we're going to get it was all a dream kind of situation, except that what's going to happen is that at the end of the show, the whole town, the whole city or whatever is just going to get wiped off the map. It's going to be nuked, right? And that is how we're going to have no history of having ever encountered these aliens or these other these other alien creatures. No history of encountering the xenomorphs. Like Wayland Yutani will know that the xenomorphs exist perhaps, and maybe that's why they tell the Nostromo to go to this planet or whatever. But I think that what we're going to get in the end is this: it's just everything that happened. It's all just going to get erased, and that's all we're going to get. I don't know. I'm I can see what they're trying to do with the show, trying to expand the universe a little bit. They're giving us more than just the xenomorph. They're giving us other different types of aliens and threats to see here. There's also this new corporation that we've never heard of before. Why have we never heard of them? Probably because they get evaporated at the end of the series. I don't. I just really haven't enjoyed the show. Elizabeth Gwynn says, "I'm getting a headache listening to the plot." It's just not. It's not great, and the acting so far also not great. There's some stuff that just doesn't make sense. At one, it's not much of a spoiler, I suppose. At one point, the Wendy character decides, yes, she's going to go rescue her brother, so she just breaks off the arm of a paper cutter, which for some reason just looks like a katana.
Okay.
like it's a sharpened sword. If you've ever seen a paper cutter, it's not sharpened like that. But she breaks the arm off of this paper cutter thing and then just somehow magnetically just attaches it to her back like she's some sort of ninja badass or something. And then it's like, did that just happen? What is going on?
Honestly, everything you've described until now sounds awful to me. I think I'm
It's
gonna watch it just so I'm able to
yeah,
talk about it with people just because I have to, but there's nothing that you've said that really is getting me
yeah,
excited.
yeah. Istophobos said the script makes Timothy Oliphant boring. He's incredibly boring because in Timothy Oliphant plays a synthetic who basically believes that synthetics shouldn't even try to be human. They shouldn't try to act human. They shouldn't try to emulate emotions. They should just be they should be synthetics. They should be completely and totally emotionless and everything. And so uh yeah, it's yeah, it's so far not great. There's been a few good set pieces. For the most part, the characters and the writing awful. And not saying they can't rescue this, not saying there couldn't be some good episodes later, but so far it's just not really doing anything for me at all. So yeah, I don't know if anyone else out there has seen it. Price hasn't gotten to see it just yet, but yeah. Isfo said Holly's trying to cram a Peter Pan story into an alien framework. I got to figure it has two different shows and he put them together. I suppose that's possible. But yeah, so far, yeah, I've been going back and watching The Prisoner personally. So,
The Prisoner? What's that?
have you never seen The Prisoner Price?
No, what is it?
Oh my God. 1967, I believe, is when the Prisoner came out. It's a series that stars Patrick McGowan. He's a secret agent who has retired. He's quit the secret agent service, and he is immediately kidnapped on quitting as a secret agent and sent to a mysterious place called the Village, where they are consistently they want to know why he quit. They want to know why he retired because they think that he was potentially like going to defect to the Russians or do whatever they want to find out why he quit. So there's a consistent theme of trying to dehumanize him and to remove his free will and to control his free will throughout the series, and it gets more and more just more and more insane what they go through to try and try and control him. But he insists, he says, I am not a number, I am a free man. They call him number 6 while he is there. So it is one of the greatest short run TV series that has ever been made. And it's also infamous for having one of the most insane finales ever.
The Prisoner. Okay, well,
Prisoner. Oh, it's fantastic. It is absolutely fantastic. Maybe we should review it sometime. We should go over. We should talk about it. But it was funny because I was watching some with some friends. I was watching an episode of Babylon 5, and they have a little tip of the hat, literally, to the Prisoner. One of the things that the characters say frequently who live in the village, they say be seeing you when whenever you part. I'll not see you later, and they say be seeing you, and they make this little gesture, and that actually comes up in an episode of Babylon 5. Somebody says that, and it's it reminded me of the show. I was like, you know what, I have not watched that in forever, so I've been going back and watching that show again. It's
I'll have to
truly
check
a
it out.
fantastic series. Yeah. Good luck finding it. I'll tell you that much. I may have to just share it with you.
Oh,
They released some Blu-rays back in 2016, and then they disappeared almost immediately from the American market. And it's incredibly difficult to find. I wonder if it's on any of the streaming services right now at all. Let's see.
I'm gonna have to look into it if you speak so highly of it.
Oh, it's one of the best series.
I wanted to ask you something else that I saw this thing about Overwatch 2 cutting down on oddball designs.
Oh yeah, I saw something about that too. Here, let me see. I bet I can find a story real quick.
Like a reverse woke policy of sorts or something?
Let's see. Oh, well, guess what? Where you watch oh wait,
Are you trying to say that you can watch it with Johnny Depp?
no, hold on.
Johnny Depp's name
it's
came up recently. Yeah, go on.
oh, sorry. I was looking at something else, got distracted. Oh, sorry. All right. Where you watch Quantum Leap over on the Roku channel. Apparently they have it free with ads on The Prisoner is free with ads on the Roku channel. So
Well, I'll have to check it out.
you can check it out over there. Yeah. They have it on Pluto TV too, free with ads, but that means you probably have to like watch, you know what I mean? Their stuff is all just scheduled live, it's not like you can pick the episodes and watch them. And then once you watch the episodes, then you have to decide what order you like to watch them in, because the official order from the studio is not the order that the fan club recommends or the order that's recommended by the AV club.
How many episodes are there?
It's 17 episodes. Yeah.
And it's not the regular order, or you're supposed to watch it a different order?
There's controversy about as to what order the episode should be played in. Based on not the original airing order or the production order, but that there's a different order that they should be played in order to be experienced properly.
What would you do?
Oh, I have my own order.
Well, I'll ask you before doing it. But Istophobos asked, did a new South Park come out? No, a new South Park didn't
there was
come out.
supposedly they delayed. There was supposed to be an episode this week, but they delayed, and the rumor is that delay was pushed by Paramount.
Why though? Do you think that they don't like the politics that Train Matt are doing? What is it?
That could be it. I don't know. It could be that they're pissed at some of the politics they've been throwing into it. Maybe they've told them to cut out the Trump stuff or whatever. I don't know. I really don't. I think that's fascinating. I really think they should just let them be, let them make what they make, and let it die or survive based on whether it's any good. But kind of interesting that it was supposed to air this week and it's not. So
I wonder what it was, because if you think about it, they had 1 week, then the next week, last minute, they bailed on it. Then the next week there was an episode. Then the next week they bailed on it again. South Park, the thing with them is that they used to make this schedule. Like if there's a schedule, they make the episode. Now it's just like suddenly there is an episode, then there isn't an episode. It's kind of strange.
yep. I really have to wonder, is it production issues on their end? Is maybe that oiled, finely oiled machine that they've had, is that not working as well as it used to? And they're not able to really put together those episodes in 6 days? Or is there something else going on inside Paramount maybe that they're trying to tell them not to make those, not to make those episodes? I don't know. But the last thing we were going to talk about was Overwatch, just real quick. So yeah, the rumor is now that Overwatch 2, which has been pretty hard on creating really strange looking, androgynous, weird characters in recent years. They've been pretty heavily into Pride and various other things as well. They're saying that they are going to be ditching these, as they say, oddball designs, and all the new heroes and new skins are going to be aspirational in some sense. So this is, if I can get it to scroll, this is going to be one of the new characters, Wu Yang, who is going to be obviously a Chinese character. He is based in sort of the wuxing tradition, which if you know anything about that, it's a traditional storytelling trope in Chinese history. Basically characters that can control the elements kind of thing. And so he would be one who would be able to control water, kind of like Avatar. If you've seen the Avatar, The Last Airbender, where you got different characters who are able to control the elements. Built in that sort of thing. And you'll notice, he has muscles as a masculine build. Interesting. And then, of course, we also had, there was a promotional thing had to do with Cammy from Street Fighter. So they've been doing sort of a cross promotional thing with Street Fighter 2, and we have Cammy. People have complained that her outfit was a little bit edited. It didn't expose quite so much skin, but I think there's a lot of skin being shown there myself. But
it's fine to me. But
yeah, it looks fine to me. It's a different take on the character. It's not exactly the same model as they used in the game. But when they were talking to some of the people, they were talking about the new shooter direction. Lead concept artist Billy told the press that going forward, we always will approach making Overwatch heroes aspirational in some sense. They're aspirational in their physique. Oh my God. No body positivity. What are we going to do? Aspirational in their physique, in their expertise at what they do, and just being really cool heroes we can look up to. My God, what a revolutionary idea, Bryce. Let's create characters that are attractive and aspirational and that people think are cool. Man, there must be something about that that's going to make them some money, I'm sure. Adding a final note to the summary, Campbell relayed how Tan said this aspirational design is why the team moved away from oddball characters like Wrecking Ball and some more recent, the giant Daddy Omnic Ramatra. I'm not even going to bother with that. In favor of something more conventionally attractive characters. Oh my God, conventionally attractive, Price. You know what that means? Nazis.
Yeah, that's what it means
Conventionally
now, I guess.
attractive means Nazi propaganda.
I see.
Wait, does she have blue eyes? I can't tell. She's blonde. Maybe it's Nazis. I don't know. Uh, however, he said the design team is eager to sprinkle non-human heroes in over time and tease more exciting stuff down the road. So yeah, one of the games was leading the way in a lot of ways in introducing, body positive characters and whatnot. Now going to be creating more aspirational, physically attractive models for the characters. So yeah, definitely 100% a retreat from wokeness in Overwatch 2. So a win for the no woke team. So yeah. Oh, Istophobos says Cammy has so much Rule 34 stuff out there, it's nuts. Yeah, don't go there. Not gonna look that up. Don't look. Don't look. Senpai 76, it's good to see you over there on Rumble. Says it's too late for Blizzard. I think it kind of is, honestly. I think probably the time of Overwatch 2 being as big as it is has probably already sailed, and there's a lot of other problems at Blizzard as well. They've had a lot of layoffs and stuff since they were taken over by Microsoft. So yeah, I'm not sure how that's going to work out for them, but it's my understanding actually that Overwatch 2 is no longer actually produced by Blizzard. It might be produced by the actual coding and design of the characters and all of that stuff is actually another company that's been making all of that stuff, and then it's just sort of rubber stamped. It's approved by Activision Blizzard. So,
But yeah, I mean, so much damage has been done. To a
yes,
lot of
there's
these
already
things.
so much damage that's been done that I don't know that they're going to be able to bring the audience back. But you know what? Regardless, this is a positive. Companies retreating from woke, retreating from identity politics, retreating from body positivity, LGBTQ stuff. All
Mr. Fobo says they
all
could
a
put
positive.
Sydney Sweeney naked in Overwatch. It would still be too late. Senpai 76, they cannot recover from the shipwreck of bad decisions over there. Diablo boss just jumped overboard. Dude Bro Seth 420 says it's almost as if Hollywood forgot how to write. And yeah, they're all nobody seems excited here. Oh well, I did want to
Not
ask you something because there was something that I saw that was of interest to me. A
okay.
few things, a few items. This thing, I don't know if you noticed this. I guess I've read about this before. They're bringing back James Marsden as Cyclops for Avengers Doomsday. I
Yeah.
guess what they're going to do is with this Doomsday now, and it's an act of desperation. They're going to be bringing some old school X-Men in hopes that some people show up. They're going to be bringing back Robert Downey Jr., bringing back potentially Chris Evans. They're just trying anything in the world to do some kind of nostalgia that'll bring people back. And the question is, I think maybe with all of this, they'll bring some people back. The question is if it'll make money based on how much money they're spending on it.
Yeah, that's a big big question as to whether or not it's ever going to be something that can make a profit, because if you look at a lot of the rumors about how much they're spending on not just the making of the film itself, but on all of the people that they want to be in it, yeah, you gotta wonder if they're ever going to be able to make that money back.
The thing is, from what I recall, his character is not even alive, and then even he says, "I'm dead." Well, maybe not. I don't know. It reminds me once there's that thing. I always remember this on The Simpsons. On one of the early seasons, I think like Marge is watching some soap opera, and somebody knocks on the door, and then somebody opens it and says, "Oh, like Father O'Malley, I thought you were dead," and he says, "I was." and it sounds really stupid, but it's actually funny. And to this day, when I think of it, it's funny because I mean, this character died. What? How is he alive now? What is it? A different universe? A different thing? How are they bringing him back? It just feels like whatever. This is going to be the biggest member berry festival ever. This Avengers Doomsday, and I wonder if it's going to even have any kind of plot or story that makes any sense, or is it just going to be like a greatest hits festival of X-Men, of like Fox stuff, of MCU stuff, and they're just going to do a bunch of member berries and hope the people show up.
I think that's about, I think that's about their only chance. Throw as many member berries out there as they can and hope that people show up for it. Honestly, they have not built any kind of loyalty to the Marvel brand over the past 5 years. In fact, it's exactly the opposite. People have given up on the Marvel brand over the past 5 years. And their box office this year has done absolutely nothing to change that. They've had 3 bombs in a row. And they're going to walk away from the box office this year with Marvel films having lost several $100 million at the box office and having 0 hits. So what's to draw people to see Doomsday next year except a bunch of cameos and a bunch of people.
Phantom Outsider says, well, in X-Men 3, Scott was presumed dead. They only found his visor.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
I'm still annoyed that The Last Stand exists. Brett Ratner did a terrible job with that movie.
He ruined that.
Completely sorry, Sean, shit the bed.
He did.
Completely shit the bed, Brett Ratner. There's no other way to describe it.
No other way to describe it. No. The first movie was it had its flaws, but for the most part was an enjoyable comic book film. The second movie was really, really well done. Solid character work, good story, great action scenes, good special effects, good film. The third one, as you said, absolutely shit the bed. It couldn't, I don't know how they could have made it worse. It was awful.
I mean, I know that Bryan Singer is a problematic guy and all, but Brett Ratner wasn't able to replace him. And
Brett Ratner is also a problematic guy, so
it's funny they replaced one problematic guy with another problematic
guy.
If you think about it,
they did.
It was kind of a lateral replacement, but at least one of the problematic guys knew how to do those X-Men movies. Not only that, I think that Singer went to do Superman Returns, and that wasn't so well received either. So it was a lose-lose for everybody. Nobody benefited from anything that happened here. They should have I never like that when they just pull a guy that's been doing like a good job, and then they're like, well, now somebody else will do it. I never really like that.
Yep. So, yeah.
But,
James Marsden, probably the celebrity I have the closest connection with.
How so?
He briefly went to my high school. I have friends that knew him, and I have other connections to his dad, who grew up or who was born in my hometown. So, and have some other connections to his dad as well. So, yeah, never met him. I was not in high school at that point when he was there. I was still in junior high, but I had several friends that knew him while he briefly attended that high school. So it's pretty cool. They said he was a good guy.
He seems like he would be.
Yeah, he's always given me that impression. He seems like a really down to earth kind of guy. And yeah, I'd love to meet him someday.
I mean, actors can fool you, but I don't know. His energy usually just seems positive. When you see him in a show, he's he has a naturally likable vibe. Even if it's phony, he does it really well. So he gives that vibe. By the way, I have something, and this maybe some people in the chat can help us out with. Do you remember Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness or whatever that was?
Oh, Lord, yes, I remember that. I went to the theater. Movie? I saw that one in the theater because I thought, man, that first one was a really good film. I'm ready to see Multiverse 2.
It,
What a and I'm a well, anyway. Yeah, it was
it
bad.
was one of the biggest heists that Kevin
Oh,
Feige
yes.
ever pulled off, because you saw the first Doctor Strange and you thought it was good, so you're hoping the second one will be good. Then you saw Spider-Man No Way Home, and Benedict Cumberbatch is in that movie as Doctor
Mhm.
Strange, and immediately the next movie is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Now, because there was the multiverse in Spider-Man No Way Home, people are thinking, okay, now he has to deal with the fallout of that, so let's see what he's going to do. And then you go see that movie, and it's a complete ploy. The
Well, and it was
it
and it was directed by Sam Raimi. So if you're somebody who's a film
Right, right, that
who's
was
a
an
fan of Raimi, you're thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna get a Marvel movie made by Sam Raimi." Like, this is back to the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, right? We're gonna get some of that same Sam Raimi touch in this, and instead, it was sorry,
it
Sean, it was a shit show.
It was a shit show, and also, Raimi himself has said that they basically made him film the whole movie over again. He filmed one movie, and then they're like, "Well, we really want to tie it to WandaVision. We really want to do this. We really want to do that." And I feel like Raimi is the type of guy that he doesn't complain. He didn't go out and say anything to the press. Although Bruce Campbell, I remember, said something that, like, until the last moment, people didn't even know what this movie was going to be about. I don't know what comment he dropped there, but it seems like they didn't really give Raimi a pleasant time making that movie. He certainly couldn't make the movie that he wanted to make, and I am sure that Raimi had more to offer than whatever we saw in that movie. And I wonder what that movie is that they didn't want to release. The one that was filmed, that he already filmed like 80% of. I wonder what that movie was. Really would be interested in seeing it.
Mhm.
But it doesn't matter. They did
Absolutely.
it like by committee, whatever that thing. So remember there
Yeah.
was a character called America Chavez?
Oh, I remember America Chavez.
So
Yes.
now there's a rumor. Some people think that she's gonna be in Avengers Doomsday,
Oh, I
and
think
some
they're gonna
people
throw everything. I think every possible character is gonna be in.
but then some people are claiming that based on her reaction in this interview, maybe she's not in the movie. So I wanted you to show you this, so like maybe you in the chat can tell me. Do you think that the way she's acting here is she means that she's gonna be there, or maybe she hasn't even received a phone call? Are you ready?
Mhm.
We know that you're hard at work on Avengers. I know you're very tight-lipped. But what is it that you're most excited to bring to America, that you're excited to give your fans?
I mean, I'm excited to see her future. I think most importantly, I actually this leads me out to you guys. What do you guys want to see? What are you hoping for America's future? I would love to see that, and hopefully we can probably cook up something with what y'all put out there. Manifest it. There's your task. Manifest America's future.
Yes, the fans better be listening. They better be watching. Can you pick maybe 3 words that you hope America embodies in this next installment of the Avengers?
Bravery, courage, and let's say just powerful.
There are so many incredible stars attached to that film, yourself included. Who
Oh.
are you most excited to hopefully share a scene with?
Oh, wow. Well, I hope to share, not to say anything. This is just like speculation, just vibes. I mean, I worked with her once and I would love to work with her again. She was a dream. I would love to work with Elizabeth Olsen again. That was just my favorite experience ever.
I mean, you started in the industry so young. Of course, Elizabeth started in the industry so young. I mean, like, have you had a chance to bond with her, ask her questions about navigating the industry?
No, I mean, when I was on set, I was very much like, let her do her craft, just watch, listen, soak it in. And that's exactly what I did. And I think the best piece of advice that she gave me was just like, if there's an idea or something that you have on your mind, just say it, put it out there, you never know. And to this day, I do that. And I let people know that, like, I have some input, and if you'd love to hear it, I'm willing to give.
I love it. You're such a collaborator. I got to extend a very delayed congratulations, because I haven't seen you since you won the Mirrorball Trophy on Dancing with the Stars. We are gearing up for another season. They've already announced 4 contestants. What do you think?
Just like last year.
What I was gonna say is that this is another case. How is it always that when they put anybody in a movie in Disney these days, when you see them on the red carpet, they look better than in their movie?
Yeah. That's pretty typical. Yeah.
Also, Adam Gray says America grew up quick. The thing is that I always feel like they go out of their way to make these actors and actresses look, especially the actresses, look terrible, and then you just see them walking around, and it's very telling that an actress, and I don't even, from what I remember, I don't think she's in Nobody 2. Like, I don't even think she's in the movie from what I remember. So she had a chance to go to a premiere, and when she walks out of the house, she's not going to be dressed shabby and crappy. She wants to look good on the red carpet. Like, what kind of disconnect from reality is this, that Disney hires all these actors and they're like, we don't care how you're walking around in real life. We want you to look shabby. It's like, what are you, idiots?
Yeah.
It's just so annoying. And the other thing is, I can't tell 100% if she's a part of this movie, because she's like, you should manifest it. You should manifest. Manifest what? It's almost like I'm not 100% sure she received the call yet.
Mhm.
Elizabeth Quinn says she
I-
hasn't gotten the call. Yeah, that's probably
I'm guessing she hasn't from the way she was talking. Yeah.
because the fact that she's like, come on, say something. I'm going to let the fans do it. Manifest it. Manifest it. Almost like it kind of reminded me in a nicer way, nicer than when they asked Brie Larson and she's like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to do it. They don't want me to do it anymore. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, if
It absolutely reminds me of that. I agree, Bryce.
but if Brie Larson, because of her personality, came off as bitchy doing it, this girl seems nicer, and she just tried her best, to weasel out of it somehow. But I don't know what to tell you, man. This interview doesn't give me a feeling that 100% she got the call. Maybe I'm wrong. The truth is, nobody even remembers her character. Nobody cares about her character. Her character was insignificant. The movie was crap. The movie made money, but it was a crappy heist. Kevin Feige, he should be. That was a heist. What he did with that movie, he absolutely cheated the public into going to see that movie. No.
No. Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, Professor, I feel like we haven't had any situation that we were thrown out of the stream.
No. It seems that the like 2-hour curse seems to have resolved. It's been replaced with every other time we start up Rumble
Right.
Studio, it doesn't work and we have to go somewhere else. But no, when
And
it does work, it seems to be working fine now. I don't know. They must have made some changes.
So now you have this thing that I wanted to ask you about. Dakota Fanning had a horror movie called Vicious, and suddenly they're like, "Nah, we're not going to release it in the theater. We're going to put it on Paramount Plus." It's kind of weird. Why do you think that they pulled the plug on it?
I'm guessing it's stinker. It probably was going to cost them a whole lot of money to put it in theaters, and they realized it wasn't going to make a dime. Horror movies have not been doing great lately. You've got a few that are doing well and a lot that are doing very poorly. So maybe they just decided that it wasn't going to make any money. They were going to waste more on distribution and stuff than they were actually, going to make back. So,
I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I guess I'm trying to think if I saw a trailer for it or not. I feel like this is something I saw a trailer for, but I could be wrong, because I go to some of these horror movies sometimes for some reason, for no apparent reason. And speaking of horror movies, so you have this thing that they want to do like a prequel to Weapons, and it's like, why do you want to do a prequel movie to the thing?
stop!
Who cares?
No
Yeah.
more friggin' prequels. How about you take a year to sit down and write another good story? It doesn't have to be tied into the last one that you made. Just sit down and write an interesting story and then go and film it.
Yeah, and I'll tell you something. Even though I know you said you don't like horror, let me tell you that the Weapons, like, if you force yourself to see a movie of the genre, because it's sort of there's a few different things. It's like a hybrid genre, whatever Weapons is. It has a bit of horror element to it, but like I said, it's not like just a slasher thing going on. It's a little more. There's a mystery. It's a mystery with horror and a bit of supernatural. And I thought it was good. I told you that. I think that it may not be something you like, but if you ever said to yourself, "Wow, I'm going to force myself to watch quote unquote a horror movie," I think that this one, maybe you wouldn't even hate it. It feels a bit different. It feels
Yeah.
there's something a
Okay.
bit different about it. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Oh, I was just looking up what this vicious movie is about. So it says when Polly receives a mysterious box from an unexpected late night visitor, it comes with a simple instruction. Place 3 things inside, something you need, something you hate, and something you love. What begins is a strange ritual, quickly quickly unravels into a waking nightmare. Okay, sure.
You know the strangest thing? Variety used to have something called Variety VIP, and now when you go there, like, it ceased to exist. I guess they canceled it?
Could be.
Oh, that's another thing that I saw today that they're considering, I guess Paramount wanna bring the Duffer Brothers over to them.
Yeah, I did see that. It looks like they're trying to buy out the Duffer Brothers and bring them over from Netflix after finishing up their run with Stranger Things. Where
I
did I see
mean,
that?
the thing is that I don't know because the Duffer
It's
Brothers have only
Variety, yeah.
created Stranger Things, I don't know if there's anything else they have to offer. I know that sounds shitty, but it's like, yeah, they did fine with that. Do they have anything else? Like, is that based on what are they bringing them? Also, what was like if I'm them, I'm thinking to myself, Netflix already has Stranger Things. Weren't they supposed to do like spin-offs or something for them? Or now I guess they're not doing it. Trying to
Yeah,
understand
I
what the
don't
whole
know.
deal.
I'm not sure. There was rumors of some sort of a spin-off, but I don't know what's happening with that. I mean, is this Duffer Brothers thing? I have a feeling this Duffer Brothers thing is going to end up like the Russos getting their contract with Netflix.
Even
The
worse,
Russo
even
brothers
worse.
are going to hop over there and they're going to make a $300 million movie that's going to bring 10 people to Netflix to watch it. So,
There's something else. I'm trying. What were the names? The guys from Game of Thrones.
oh yes,
How did I? They're so annoying that I blank. Like I deleted their names from my memory.
they were going to make a Star Wars
How do I not remember their
thing.
names? I can't believe it.
Benioff
Dan
and Weiss. Benioff and Weiss.
Was one of them called Dan?
As David Benioff and DB Weiss.
Oh, okay, sorry.
That's their official
Benioff and
name.
Weiss. Close enough. The man, has there been a bigger like crash and burn than Benioff and Weiss?
Oh yeah, they had their first, if they had 6 seasons of the show that were critically acclaimed, and then they just crashed and burned immediately on that last season. I mean, it was just a disaster. I mean, it completely ruined. I guess it was 7 seasons, and then the 8th season was.
And says Duffer means failure in the UK. Yeah,
Yes,
I
it
mean,
does.
honestly, the Duffer Brothers, the first season of Stranger Things was genuinely good. The second
It
season
was.
was okay. The
Second season's all right.
third season wasn't very good, and the fourth season was a return to form.
Was
But
much
based on
better. Yeah.
yeah, based on that record, that's not enough for me to just want to give them the entire universe. It's like a very specific thing they did, and I don't know if they can
Yeah.
recreate it.
I felt like the 3rd season ended up as a real mess because they kind of wrote themselves into a corner with the different stories they were trying to tell and the characters they were trying to tell, and uh it just didn't work very well. And so yeah, I mean, there were parts of the 3rd season that I was fine with. It was just the overall takeaway from that 3rd season wasn't very good. But yes, it was a much better season when they came back for the 4th season. So, yeah. I mean, I'm hopeful they'll be able to, stick the landing in the 5th season. I'm not like emotionally invested in it or anything. If they pull a Benioff and Weiss and the last season is just a disaster and it just completely ruins the show going and no one ever comes back to watch it because they're like, oh yeah, that thing crashed and burned in the last season. Don't even bother starting it because the rest of it sucks.
There's apparently a
Yeah.
short film with Jason. I have to go see that. I don't know what that means. with Jason from
Sure.
Friday the 13th. They did something.
Yeah, I had heard something about that.
I'll have to check that out. But there is one thing that I wanted to ask you because I didn't get a chance to watch it. Did you watch Wednesday by any chance?
I have not watched Wednesday. I haven't watched the first or the second season, so
You know what? I'll tell you what. The first season, it's not that it was especially good, but at the time, because also Jenna Ortega was new on the scene, I was rather impressed with her performance. I think that she held together a show that was otherwise kind of like it wasn't all that great. It was okay, but there were a lot of annoying things about it. I felt that the strongest thing about it was her performance. The only thing is, I feel like years have gone by, and these years, she seems more like a mature woman now. So now she's a mature woman, but they're trying to like make it like she's a kid again. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll watch it and she'll absolutely look like a kid. But I feel like I don't know. Some of these shows they wait so long between one season and another that by the time the next season comes along, I just don't feel like watching it. I'm still trying to get through season 3 of Squid Games. I'm struggling. I put on a few
yeah,
episodes.
it's a slog.
Like I'm suffering. I don't know why. Like I should be able to just sit there and watch it. I watched a few episodes and I'm like, just watch the last few. You're already invested. You watched it all this shit. Sorry, Sean. Just
Yeah.
finish watching it. And man, is it a slog to get through. And I don't know why.
Yeah.
I can't explain why. Honestly, it didn't need a second season. That's the truth. It never needed a second season. The
Nope.
second season, the first few episodes made me miserable, but somehow I stuck with it. And at the end, at least piqued my interest a little, and I saw it and I'm like, fine. And really, they needed to finish that second season and finish the show. The fact that you would take a break and then another year or something, I have to wait until I see the end, it's really asking a lot of me.
Yeah. And well, I don't know if I should say it.
What is it?
I think you're gonna hate the ending, Price.
Did you get to the end of season 3?
I watched all of it. I watched all 3 seasons.
And you're saying I'm gonna hate the ending?
I think you're gonna hate the ending. Yeah, I do.
Well, that's kind of annoying.
But I don't know. Yeah, watch it. I mean, honestly, I thought season 3 story-wise was fine. It was slow. I'm gonna give you that. It was definitely kind of slow. And there was some stuff that I was like, "Oh my god, could we just get this over with?" Because it was kind of like clear what was gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like you know exactly what was gonna happen with the story. So just move on, like get through this. You don't need to drag this out any longer than you already have. Let's just get to the end. And that happened in numerous games that you see during that season. But the very end of it, I just I did not love it. I didn't. I saw what they were trying to do, but at the same time, just didn't like where they went with it.
Well, I'll have to somehow
Yeah.
I'll have to somehow watch the whole thing. I watched until now.
Stiff cup of coffee.
I have
And
like 4 episodes. I think I have like 4 episodes left. I'll just watch them. I'll suffer, and whatever it is, it is. All I
Yeah.
know is this series did not need more than the first season. Sometimes you have a story and you
Yeah.
feel like, okay, this is good. This needs to end here, and I really felt that way about Squid Games.
Well,
I
and it was the first season. It had a lot to say about like status and wealth and how the wealthy mistreating the poor and how genuinely how poor people become poor and how they're kind of trapped in their lives. It had a lot of things to say about society and things, but then also just like the actual story itself and the characters were interesting, and it was something very very different than what we had seen before. It was definitely a very Korean production, and it worked really well, and there was a lot of shock value in what happened and seeing these different games and the way they played out and different characters either desperation or their own ingenuity and being able to survive the games. All of that was a very interesting thing. But the when you come back for a new another season, it's like, okay, so we're just going to do the same thing again, right? It's like we've already seen this, right? It just like the first time out was enough, and so I saw what they were trying to do with the second season. Some of it is okay, uh, the second and third seasons, which are basically just one season.
Uh,
Some of it was okay, but the rest of it, yeah, and especially I was very displeased with where they decided to end it. So
I'll have to watch and suffer. Karate Werewolf says it's to Phobos. I think they are in Hollywood jail. I guess it's Benioff and Weiss. Nothing new coming up. Last thing they did was that awful Three Body Problem for Netflix. Yeah, basically, Three Body Problem for Netflix was a collaboration between Ryan Johnson, Benioff, and Weiss. And
yeah,
I think I actually put on the first episode of that. I just couldn't be bothered. I don't know.
I didn't hate it. At the same time, I didn't love it. They took a lot of shortcuts that I felt, obviously, if you know anything about Three Body Problem, they were
I
Chinese
watched, yeah, I
science
mean,
fiction novels.
right. I watched the first episode or two of it, but somehow I don't know why it just didn't grab me. I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah. I watched through it because I've read the first book, so I watched the first
And how
series.
does it compare with the book?
It's nowhere near as good as the book. Although I mean they did, I thought, recreate some of it very well, especially the stuff that happens in the virtual reality inside the helmet. A lot of that is a very interesting way of visualizing what happens in that part of the book. But then there's a lot of other stuff that happens where they take a lot of little shortcuts. There's things they don't really explain like like as well as they're explained in the book, and so in the end, it kind of, I don't know. Uh, they changed out some of the characters. Uh, they took some of the characters, like they will do when they're adapting a book, right? Oh, we've got two characters over here, so we'll just make them one character, so we can have one actor instead of two actors, right? So, Karate Werewolf says the cast was 90% of the cast was trash. Yeah, the cast was not well well chosen. No, it was not a very good cast. There were a few standouts in there. Benedict Wong, one of them, uh, great actor, but wasted in the show. So, yeah,
I thought Benedict Wong was good in Weapons for whatever they needed him to do there. I
yeah,
thought he was okay.
he's a good actor. He's a really
I
good
mean,
character actor.
first of all, he's a good character actor, but the one thing that he has about him is he has likability. Sometimes you have actors that you see him on the screen immediately. There's kind of a feeling of like, I like this guy, and
Yeah,
I feel like Benedict Wong does that. I don't know why. Sometimes you don't know why somebody. We're talking about James Marsden. I don't know why. Usually, if you see James Marsden, you're like, oh, I like that guy. There's no
yeah,
specific reason. I don't know why. Sometimes my only theory is that maybe somebody has like a good vibe in real life, and
hmm
that sort of shines on screen. It's the same thing also with Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves is by no means, he's not the best actor in the world. I think that the reason his career is successful is that there's something likable about it. You see him on screen and you like him for whatever reason.
hmm I agree.
If you know what I mean.
Yep. No,
Bruce is I don't know.
I do like Benedict Wong. I think he's seems like a real down to earth kind of guy.
Yeah, he was also good. Anytime I see him in something, he like I said, he
Yep.
has a positive thing. The only place that I think they didn't know what to do with him was She-Hulk, which was just embarrassing. But
Well, that was just stupid. That was just shoehorned in.
and I read an article that they're thinking of bringing She-Hulk into Avengers Doomsday. I hope I never
Yeah.
see. I
Oh
hope I
God, I hope
never see that character again.
no. I never want to see She-Hulk
Never want to
again.
see her again.
Ever,
If Kevin Feige brings her into
ever.
that movie, he's really dumb. I really
They
never
they
want to
should
see
have
her again.
they should bring She-Hulk back for one scene, just one scene. Deadpool
So,
shows up and cuts her head off, and it's over.
that would be interesting. Yes.
And all he does is he looks at the camera and says, "You're welcome."
That would
and then
actually
moves
be a
on.
good scene. You know that's never gonna
Yeah,
happen, but that
never
would
gonna
be great.
happen, but that should be shows up,
That would
slice their head off. You're welcome.
that would have been a good scene.
Mm.
And as we're close to wrapping up here, I wanna say again, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to subscribe. Just takes a second, you click that button, you never have to think about it again. And then, on Rumble, if you're watching through the app and you haven't yet followed, you should definitely do that. Uh, Good platform for free speech, and, it's good to sign up and click on those buttons, and yeah. Also, if you happen to be watching and you feel like adding some comments to the stream, I was told any kind of like and commenting or whatever these days, engagement is important. So if you feel like, engaging, we're all about that. And, I guess, Professor, is there anything else you wanted to plug?
Oh, what do I want to plug? Well,
Oh,
there's
also, do you know
so
the
many
people that
things.
were here? But first of all, say if you wanna plug something, but then we'll see if
Oh,
any.
yeah, but yeah, we gotta get to the people, but, let me, here, just a second. I'll get the AI started on doing its little summary for me. And, coming up, tomorrow, we'll have, B-roll stage over on B-sides over on, B-roll stage, YouTube, Rumble, all the good places. And, we'll be, enjoying a movie and then having a laugh. Hopefully, we'll be things will go a little more smoothly than they did last week when Price was on. Not that it was Price's fault. Price helped. Price helped fix things. But
Have fun.
yeah, fun. Just watching the movie and enjoying it and having a laugh
By the way,
at its expense.
Professor, I'm sorry that this is
Yeah.
breaking news. I
Oh,
was looking
breaking
and somebody
news.
left on one of my videos, he wrote, a comment saying, "You should buy a better mic." Is this mic not good? Do I sound not good on this mic?
You sound just fine on that mic, my man. No problem.
I always felt that this mic was pretty decent. It's considered a decent mic, so
Yeah.
somebody wrote, like, "Buy a better mic." What did I do? What happened?
Maybe you just don't have that podcast voice that everyone thinks that you should have. Maybe you didn't sound enough like AI, Price. Maybe
I see.
some people think you sound like AI, other people don't think you sound
No,
enough like AI.
I seriously wanna know if there was something wrong with it. If it doesn't sound, good, I'd wanna know.
No, sounds perfectly fine to
I I th
me.
I thought the only good thing I can say about myself, Professor, is that my mic is decent. That was, like, it's the only thing I had going for me.
It really it cut you cut Price to the core when you told him that his mic sounded bad. You really you found the weak spot and you did massive damage.
I mean, if I don't even care if the person would have written, like, "I hate your video," that's fine. But, like, it's like, "Oh, man, you gotta get a better mic." It's like,
I
I
think
don't know.
Caleb Levine's got it. They're trying to sell you a new mic. It's somebody else.
Maybe there's something going on, I don't know. Or it's somebody that didn't like my video and they're just trying to, like, play mind games with me. It's just like I told you that other guy the other day that he's like, "Obviously, you're a small time channel with small following, so that's why you have these opinions." And then I clicked on his channel and he had, like, around the same amount of subscribers as me. And a
Mhm.
few of them that said stuff like that to me, I actually clicked and they had 20 subs. Listen, I don't care. I think that even if you have a channel and you have, like, 20 or 100 subs or anything that you have, every sub that you got is work. It's not I don't take any of that for granted. Uh, if you sit and you make videos and you're building, like, something and people are following, whether you have 100 or 1,000 or 5,000 or whatever, or 10,000 or 100,000, I respect people that do this and get their following. So I'm not knocking somebody that has 20, but I'm just saying if you have 20, it's really not your position to go and start, like, bashing people and sort of talking down to them that they don't have a lot of subs. It just comes out as kind of stupid. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Oh, someone's trying to log into my Instagram account. That's not your Instagram account. Sorry.
Phantom
I just
Outsider.
showed.
I thought AI sounded like Price of Reason because isn't Price the original AI? It really bothered Price when Brune complimented R2's sound and not him. It's definitely a sensitive topic for him. No, first of all, I'm very happy for the professor. I think that he got a fantastic sounding setup, and I'm not like that. I am happy, but at the same time, I don't want to have a shabby setup. You know what I'm saying? So when Brune was like complimenting him, I'm thinking, well, do I sound shabby? I don't want him to sound bad. I just don't want to sound bad. I'm not upset. I'm happy for other people. I think that to date I've time and time again I've shown that if there's a friend of mine, you know, that suddenly something good happens to him, suddenly there's like a big following, or something good happens, or you know, catches a lucky break, or does something that's very well received. I'm never upset at that. I don't get upset or upset that friends do well. You know, I mean there's sometimes situations where maybe people do well and the success kind of goes to their head, and that always isn't always nice. But generally speaking, I'm happy for people. I don't think
Yep.
that it's right to spend your time like, ooh, why
Yep.
is he doing this? Why is that doing that? That's like
Yeah.
not a good vibe.
It's okay. Whether my mic sounds good or not, whether I've got a great camera, great, setup in OBS, whatever. I still have a face for radio and a voice for silent film. So you're fine.
I think that whatever you do is great, man. So don't
Uh,
think you
no,
sound good
you're
with
fine.
this mic
You're
setup.
fine.
Everything you did was fine, and
All right. Well, let's say goodnight to some of our
exactly.
the people
Let's
here
start.
with us in our chat. So over on Rumble, a handful of people joining us tonight. We had quite a few more watching, but a handful joining us in the chat. So we did have Empress NM, Pyromancer, Double R Star, Elizabeth Quince, Fractured 01, Dude Bro Seth 420, Senpai 76, Kampai, Senpai 76, and then is Phobos joining us over there on Rumble. Great to see all of you here. And then let's see, over on YouTube, we had Alyssa Marie, Anthem 21X, Adam Gray, also modding for us. Thank you. I have New Dick, Breeze Feats, Caleb Levine, Darren M, David Costin, Empress NM, English Batchers, Istophobos, also helping mod for us. Thank you. Let's see. Lost my place. Jason Webster, Jonathan Conroy, Kay Roberts, Karate Werewolf, Keely Chow, Kalekioki, Kendrick Lama, Larry, Malachi D. Wildman, Mary White, also modding for us, and started us off with a mightily generous gift of 20 subs to the channel. We appreciate that. Mayor Rizzo, Michael S. Archer, Midnight's Edge After Dark. Tom stopped in for a little bit. Mur Rockstro, Phantom Outsider, Read by Nature, Rob Altus, Stephen Mack, Tex Rogers, Tim Hayes, Tomahawk 511, Trust No One, exclamation point 754, Vex Electronica, and Yitis. So, thanks again for stopping in. Great to see you all here.
Yep, and it's every Tuesday and Thursday. We do the night owl at 11:45 p.m. Eastern. If you happen to be new, like I said, follow us on Rumble, subscribe on YouTube, leave comments, likes, whatever it is, and we'll see you here next week. And on that very positive note, I guess we can head out.
Yep. Night, everyone.
Good night. Bye.